in 1987. You got it. Three's better than two. I have lived by that. Some live by really silly sayings. Really, some have silly sayings and don't live by it at all. But three's better than two is one that I've always embraced. Always embraced. And you would like to see the Pacers be able to do that. Now, not to the point to where we saw last night. You wouldn't expect that every game. But you saw a lot of guys last night shoot themselves out of situations, one being Corey Joseph. He's not going to bring it like that every night. But I'm just telling you, when you get this Pacer team that's capable of knocking shots down from the outside a little more often than they normally do, man, that opens up everything else. Everything else. So if you're asking me, got any three-point shooters available out there? Oh, I know, and it's me. Me at the trade deadline coming with my little, well, maybe you should go out and get Wayne Ellington. Did you guys see Wayne Ellington languishing on the bench in Miami on Saturday? You guys, 31 years old? Hell, I think he's only shooting like 35% from three, but the dude never plays in Miami. My whole thought was just add a guy that should have a certain amount of motivation that's not playing where he is right now, that his head coach at least says is a team guy, that you would have to give up minimal to bring onto the team if you have to give up anything at all, and then hope that my man can knock down some threes off the bench when called upon. That's the hope. And we're not talking about a national off-the-bench treasure here, but just anybody that can help this team from distance. Anybody. Because you saw what this team can do when you can knock down some threes like the rest of the NBA that's any good's doing. Man, that was fun to watch last night. We'll talk about that at 239-1070. Email address is jmv@1070thefan.com. See, it's kind of funny. You guys are so smart. You guys listen to every single second of this show, and I love you for it. You want to know how I know? It's because now I'm getting, so is Wayne Ellington becoming your C.J. Anderson football season? Kind of. A little bit. Maybe. Just, there's some things that make sense to me, and that one made sense. C.J. Anderson made sense to me back at the beginning of the season. What are you going to do? And it probably won't happen. I mean, this is kind of a whole dartboard throwing thing anyway. I mean, you would expect still the Pacers probably just to try to sign somebody. They don't want to give away anything. I think they're going to try as hard as they can to keep everybody within reason right now together, correct? And that's part of it to me. That's part of what Kevin Pritchard, Chad Buchanan bring to the table here is, as I said last week, I think they feel as if they kind of owe it to these guys to go out and try to do something without breaking some of these guys up, without, breaking up the team, which logically is going to happen in the offseason. Now, I think that our only point throughout this has been, all right, if you know that you're absolutely not going to bring somebody back, and there might be a small market, there might be a way to transition, I don't know, to upgrade or maybe just make a change in that capacity, I'm all for doing it. I've also said all along, the only thing I'm not for doing is jeopardizing the not-so-distant future. But I've never said anything about not wanting to win right here and right now. That's where we are. You know when losing really, really sucks? Like when you're losing right now. That's when it sucks. Hey, what happened? I just lost. That sucks. So I'm on board with that. And we'll see if anything transpires. So the rest of the NBA is going through the whole trade deadline protocol. Philadelphia is loaded up for the now. Philadelphia takes advantage of the Clippers, who are looking for the offseason, trying to bring in, at the very least, Kawhi Leonard. And we'll see how that goes down. I hope so, too, because that'll get him out of the East and make Toronto worse. That'd be great. What about a guy... You guys want to look up Patrick Beverley? What are you going to do with Patrick Beverley with the Clippers? Tony's shaking his head over there. No. We're shaking off Patrick Beverley.
No.
I mean, he might fight with somebody on the baseline or something, like our friend Drew Storen on the baseline last night when Lance tried to rip that rebound away from Mo Wagner and it went out of bounds. Did you see that video that I tweeted out where early in the season, and I remember this, the first game LeBron was in L.A., they were playing Portland, right? And I think somebody fell down, and LeBron got all the young guys together. It was hard, and Kuzma and Ball, and I think Rondo was a part of it too. And he said, hey, when you fall down, stay down and let one of your brothers come up and pick you up. Wagner fell down last night right in front of Drew Storm, and I thought Drew Storm was going to have to come over and help him up. Nobody came over to help him up. Lance didn't show up at Hooters last night. I wouldn't have showed up at Hooters either if my team just took a 42-point beatdown.
So are the Clippers going to have these guys in their lineup tomorrow night? That's going to be in disarray for them, is it not?
Without Tobias Harris, Muscala, and Wilson Chandler.
And Shamet.
Yep, and Landry Shamet, former Wichita State standout.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to end up doing, right? That's where Patrick Beverly is. I'm assuming they're going to keep Lou Williams. Hey, listen, I'm telling you what, if the Pacers would get Lou Williams, I would do like a couple of backflips out this window right here.
Everybody dropped 56 in here one night on Baker's Life.
A couple of backflips out the window. I'm not suggesting it's going to happen, and in fact, it wouldn't. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of him. But just for the sake of bringing up a guy like Lou Williams, because everybody can bring up Mike Conley. Everybody can bring up these names. Now you got to go a little bit deeper. Go a little bit deeper. Like Lou Williams. It's probably not going anywhere, but I'd backflip out the window for it. Tony shook me off on Patrick Beverly. Guess I'll have to go back and do some more research. Stop making fun of Wayne Ellington, all right? You're 31 or 32 years old. That's pretty classic. Anyway, I want to discuss last night with you, and again, quick shout to everybody up in Turner's Block, everybody at the game last night. It was great. That's exactly what Darren Collison, and we played it yesterday, what Darren Collison had said to Jeremiah Johnson after the game in New Orleans. Hey, back us up here. I'm sick and tired of all the Laker jerseys. And again, you're going to get that. It's LeBron James. I mean, arguably greatest of all time. Certainly on the short list of the greatest of all time. You're always going to have a lot of LeBron guys in here. I mean, hell, everybody was still excited when he dunked and they were down 35. But, man, the crowd was great last night. I love that February crowd. Gets me juiced. So we can discuss that at 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. On Twitter at jmv1070. Right now we are live, local, and late breaking. Hello on YouTube. It is the 1070 The Fan channel. Just find the Ride with JMV. I'm going to try to focus in on this a little bit and see if I can read off some of your questions. So if you want to send me questions via YouTube and the Ride with JMV YouTube page, we can do that too. Otherwise, you can just look at my face. Just look at my face and enjoy it. The YouTube channel, 1070 The Fan and the Ride with JMV. Go there and I'll answer some of those questions. You guys do realize something, correct? This is a pretty damn big day in sports history around here. Anybody want to guess what that day is all about? A pretty damn big day in sports history. Anybody? What do you got? Nobody? Can't figure it out? Anybody going to answer this big day in sports history? Where are we guys? You guys been under a rock for the past year?
Some weasel bailed on the city?
A weasel bailed on the city. A weasel first was hired by the general manager. And then about, I don't know, six and a half hours later, weasel bailed. And at the moment, absolutely pegged this franchise and Chris Ballard with a tremendous black eye. Only to fantastically get out of that and hire a guy. And if you saw him with JJ in the interview last night, Frank Reich is just perfect for this place. Perfect. What did he have? Was that a scarf that he had on? A little paisley action that Reich had on at the game last night. What do they say? On point. He is on point with his football team and everything that goes on around it. So one of the more embarrassing moments, or with really any organization, what would be described as an incredibly embarrassing moment, turned out to be great. And that's where Josh McDaniels was hired. And then Josh McDaniels decided not to jump on a plane and come here and stay in New England. And the Colts and Chris Ballard and Jim Irsay, with the help of Bill Polian and Tony Dungy, were back on the search for the next head coach, which turned into Frank Reich. That is a pretty big moment A year ago today. Well documented, by the way, too. Kevin Bowen's going to join us coming up at 5, and he's got a story on this that he published at 1070thefan.com a little bit earlier today. It is good stuff, and I tell you how that went down. I swear to you, I knew before Jim Irsay did. I swear to you. It took Jim Irsay a minute to find out. Jim wasn't, and I would love to be able to tell you what was said all around this, especially with Andrew Luck in mind, but I will not. I have promised. I have made promises, but it was great. I remember I was going to pick up the kids over at Brietta and Pat's in Beach Grove, and all of a sudden, man, my phone, you guys blew me up. And listen, I always go back and own what I've said. And you know this. I was never, ever, like some others would say, well, I didn't like him from the get. Yeah, some people did. Some people played as if they did. I was always apprehensive because I sat here thinking, all right, this guy's going to be coming to town, and I'm going to have to interview him here. So I'm going to have to try to find, I'm going to have to find a little bit of enjoyment in this because I wasn't a fan, and really nobody was. I mean, you looked across the board, there weren't that many fans at all on it. Like, it may have been the only gig in history where it was turned down, and I think the majority of the fan base was actually happy because the Weasel weaseled. That was a moment. This day last week, Kevin Bowen will talk about that. A little Pacer sprinkled in coming up at 5 o'clock. Jeremiah Johnson of Fox Sports Indiana had the walk-off with Miles last night. Miles is really good. Had the smothered chicken call from Quinn on the Kyle Kuzma attempt at a baseline dunk. And I thought one of his better games of the year, and certainly the best game of the season if you're going top to bottom with this Pacer team. It was really impressive. Quick slants coming up at 4 o'clock. Tony has questions, and I will answer those questions. I do not see it up on the board. You guys are asking me. I do not see anything goes up on the board. This is not what is a normal anything goes day. We bail at 6. So, and if you listen to Anything Goes last night, I got called out. See, everybody gets called out. Now, that's going to bend some people out of shape. There's no doubt about it. Because when you have the most unfiltered segment in the history of indie radio, it is probably going to ruffle the feathers of the sensitive. That's just the way that it goes. Last night, Susie got on me. Suze, and I love Susie because Susie says she listens every day. I love you, Susie. And you know what? She had the right to say what she said. She said, JMV, I think you cuss too much. I said, I'm kind of on the fringe of cussing. It's kind of like when you're 10. Believe me, I love cussing. I'm a hillbilly from Southern. How would I not love cussing? I love cussing. It makes me feel, it takes a load off. All right, just, right? It's like a deep breath and then a huge exhale. Bam. And it just takes that amount of time, and you're done. But no, I think I'm kind of like a 10-year-old here. I'll slide something in here or there and kind of giggle about it. Like you did when you were 10. Like when you made words sound like other words, right? When you kind of said a word that rhymed with something else. Ooh, that's dirty, and giggle about it. But now she had every right to call me out. So everybody, to answer your question about Anything Goes, everybody's going to end up taking it. And we'll see how far this goes. I don't know. What's the over-under on this segment lasting, Tony? Do we have days, hours, minutes? Because it's going to come a point where somebody's going to go, all right.
Yeah, no, there is.
I'm worried about it.
My simple suggestion would be, it makes it better if it's not every day and people, if it's every day, I think we got to spread it out a little bit. Spread it out.
Yeah, it's like craft beer. It's like zombie dust, all right? I even go back further. It's like Yingling, all right? When you had to go get it, when you had to work for it, when you thought it was like bootleg, when you thought you were a part of Smokey and the Bandit, and you were eastbound and down and then back to westbound and down. It was great. And while I like it, now the way you look at it, it's not the same. Hey, we got to go. We're going to Cincinnati. We got to bring back 19 cases of Yingling. Hey, I'm going to Florida. All I'm doing is drinking Yingling. It's what happens when it's made readily available. Tony's right. You got to keep the folks wanting more. So it's not on the board today. I'm sorry to say. Anything goes. I guess we'll jump back into it coming up tomorrow with the Pacer home date. Quick slant at 4 o'clock. Kevin Bowen, 5 o'clock. Jeremiah Johnson is going to join us coming up at 5:30. I've got tickets to give away. Was that the best Pacer game of the season? Do you expect any trade action for the blue and gold? Should they? Do you have anybody in mind? And how big was that moment this time last year to you? When one guy decided not to come and they had to go out and find another head coach. Remember where you were? We'll get that from you. 239-1070 with more next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Daquan from Indy worked at a grocery store before joining the inside sales team at Geico.
There's no way to move up at a local supermarket. I mean, you're just there until you find something else. So my something else, I want it to be actually a career so I can invest time into that and move up in the chain of command.
And move up he did. Daquan recently received his first promotion.
It was amazing. I've never been promoted before. Being promoted, again, sets jobs from careers. I would say it sets them apart.
Visit geico.job/Indy to apply.
Hey, business owners, does your Wi-Fi ever slow down because of your customers? Do downloads lag when they stream videos? Ever tried to finish payroll while clients hog up your bandwidth? Then make the switch to Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast when you add Wi-Fi Pro, which lets you allocate how much bandwidth you give to customers and your business. So while customers are busy streaming, emailing, and chatting, your employees can still be productive. Wi-Fi Pro on the nation's largest gig speed network. A great experience for your customers and your business. Switch to Comcast Business now for an amazing deal. Get 75 megabit internet for just $49.95 a month when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Wi-Fi Pro available for an additional charge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 2/28/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
Wow, look at these roses. They're gorgeous.
Happy Valentine's Day, honey.
Oh, thank you. Guys, this Valentine's Day, you can order like a pro with gorgeous roses from Pro Flowers. She'll be thrilled when you surprise her with roses. And right now, you can get her a stunning bouquet of 1 dozen assorted roses with a free glass vase for $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Just go to proflowers.com, click the blue microphone, and enter secret code 7272. These gorgeous roses are guaranteed to stay fresh and beautiful for at least 7 days. Plus, pick a delivery date and it's guaranteed. Time is running out, so hurry to get 1 dozen assorted roses with a free glass vase starting at $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Beautiful flowers, amazing prices. You'll be a Valentine's Day pro. The only way to get this incredible deal is to go to proflowers.com, click the blue microphone in the upper right corner, and enter secret code 7272. That's proflowers.com, code 7272.
Guys, erectile dysfunction got you down? The Indianapolis Men's Clinic's all-male staff specializes in treating ED and other sexual health-related issues. Call today for a consultation, 999-9000.
Here at The Fan, we want to congratulate Andrew Luck, who is the NFL Comeback Player of the Year.
This is truly an honor. Being injured, missing football is no fun. Thank you for everybody that has helped me along the way.
We also congratulate Darius Leonard for winning Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I would like to thank Jim Irsay and the Colts organization for giving me the opportunity to play the game I love at the highest level.
Your home for Colts football. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
John for PAI, it's WeGrowHairIndy.com. Who out there is looking for some new coverage right there? Well, the fact that you're looking means, well, you're probably struggling with it right now. I get it. Been there, done that. If you want your real growing hair again, all I'm here to tell you is there are ways. It's multi-threaded hair grafting. It's Artist Robotic FUE. It's laser hair therapy from PAI. It is that simple. Just contact Darren Andrews. In fact, I got a call. I'm not going to tell you who it was today. It's somebody you guys would know, but I got in contact. I got a call from somebody today that said, hey, I kind of want to get involved in that. So I gave them Darren's number, and now they're off and running and getting that real growing hair again with PAI. Darren Andrews, or online right now. WeGrowHairIndy.com.
The Ride with JMV. Oopsie. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Whoopsie. Whoopsie.
I love playing
Whoopsie.
basketball.
Whoopsie, I got ED.
I like to have hot, sweaty basketball.
Oopsie, I've got ED. I'm sorry. Can you play that again? Whoopsie. I love that. That's from Sam H.
Oopsie.
He was sleeping on the couch, and now he's lasting an hour.
Wah, wah, wah. Sad trombone. No pun intended. Sam H. writes this. So on your show, you're talking about players who wouldn't mind seeing play for the Pacers, but who would you trade for those players? No, that's what I brought up. The way you look at it right now, I'd find it hard to believe that the Pacers would want to give up anybody that would be presently on the roster. Well, maybe one or two, given the circumstances, maybe. But I think for the most part, they kind of want to stick with what they have. That's why when I mentioned Ellington just for S's and G's here, it's because I'm assuming since he's mired on the end of the Heat bench, Eric Spoelstra loves him, and it makes him sick to his stomach that he's sitting there. But the guy can knock down threes, and, I mean, a second-round pick or anything like that, I mean, what the hell? Why not, right? So that wouldn't cost you anything. But you're right. I mean, by and large, it's going to cost you something, and the Pacers don't want to pay it. And I'm not talking about financially don't want to pay it. The Pacers don't want to pay it with the players or with the leverage that they currently have. So that's why I'm thinking, like, when everybody else is jumping on the mic, we got a Mike Conley. I mean, come on. Be great. I do like him, but anybody else see that working out there? I'll give you another great example here. And this guy's a great listener in Southern California. But he sent me a tweet earlier today, and I've received a lot of these tweets so far. By the way, Ron Kraft, you guys in Turner's Block, great job. Hey, seriously, give some love to Ron Kraft. Ron was a part of that last night, and it was money.
Buck. That's his wrestling name.
Ron
Buck
Kraft?
Sexton. Yeah, Buck Sexton is his wrestling
Buck
name.
Sexy?
Buck Sexton.
Buck Sexton.
Yep.
Ron Kraft did a great job, though.
It's good stuff.
See, this is James. I think it goes by James Marvin, and I do like him. He listens and he participates. But here's what he wrote, and it was in response. Mike Wells sent me a tweet saying, "Hey, man, your guy, Miles Turner, had a really nice game." Yeah, he did. So James writes this: Miles has always been a rim protector. His problem is rebounding and scoring, but he is getting better. I'd still trade for Anthony Davis in a heartbeat, but Simon's cheap ass won't do it. That's got absolutely, positively nothing to do with it. Zero. All right? Trading for Anthony Davis for the Pacers would be the dumbest thing in the world. He's not going to stay. He's not going to long-term here, so you're basically just going to give the Pelicans some players. You're going to give them some players. You just want to give them some players. You might want to give them some players, but I guarantee you, you're not going to want to give them the players that they would really like to have. And again, that's not a rumor or anything. I'm just answering his question about this. That would be the dumbest thing ever. Anthony Davis doesn't want to come here. You know, he leaked out who and where he would play. The two LAs, I think Milwaukee he mentioned, and the Knicks as well. He didn't want to be in New Orleans. He wouldn't want to be here. And that's why Kevin Pritchard told us, again, and I think these words are great, and it is so accurate. Back in September at the golf outing, he said, I mean, it's interesting, the dynamic here, because you're looking for the best talent, but you also have to make sure that these guys want to be here. I mean, we've been down that path before, right, Paul George? I mean, you got to make sure these guys want to be here. So that was loaded with silly right there. As are a lot. And again, other people also have silly trade suggestions, so on and so forth. But that would, I mean, no, it's too cheap. The Pacers are not too cheap. We just want to give away some players for a guy that's going to go, there's no way in the world I'm playing here. Wait a minute. Hell, I barely stomached Lexington for one stinking half year. What the hell? Can't come here. JMV at 1070thefan.com. JMV, that chant LeBron's going to trade you. Instant classic. Please let Tony know. Kansas Jayhawks basketball is poop.
They're awful right now, yes. They are poop.
I love that. That makes me happy. Poop. Susie, I'm sorry. That's why I'm going to start saying that. I've never dropped an S-bomb on here, but Susie wanted me to watch my language. I did tell Susie last night during Anything Goes that normal protocol for me is kind of the whole earmuffs routine. Mm-hmm. So if you got kids in the back, hey, hold on a second. And then I say it. That's kind of how that goes. All right, 239-1070. Steve's going to lead us today. Steve, what's up? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Great, thank you.
Hey, I haven't heard you mention the name. As far as the Pacers, I really don't see us doing anything at the trade deadline. I'm thinking, hopefully, we're hoping that Doug McDermott shows up from the three-point line at some point this season.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on that one. Are you? Are you holding your breath, Steve, on that?
No, I mean, I figure
I'd love to. I'd love to see it, but I'm not holding my breath.
I think he has more impressive dunks than he does clutch three-pointers.
I'm telling you, I've never seen the dude drives. He drives to because people come out and challenge him, so he gets around them and gets a chance to drive. I mean, his most impressive offensive plays have been driving to the rim this year. That's not really how it's supposed to go. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I trade him for Wayne Ellington. What do you think?
I don't know if I'd trade him. I don't think it's necessary to do that. That's the only reason I brought up Ellington is because I thought that he would take the least amount to get to help something that we saw that was a desperate need last night, didn't we, Steve? We saw how desperate utilizing and making the three-point shot is to this team last night. I mean, you saw it that way. So that's, listen, it's just me. It's me rolling the dice, but not so much rolling the dice, right?
With our defense, if we can hit three-pointers, I mean, we'd be top of the league in points scored. But, any reason why we gave Doug, I mean, he's been such a disappointment, why we gave him a 3-year contract and not a 1 year left with the rest of these guys?
They felt what they saw in McDermott last half of the season in Dallas, was the maturation and the growth of him becoming that type of player. And that was the type of player they were looking for. Unfortunately, he's not lived up to that billing for them to this point.
Okay. Well, hopefully after the All-Star break, he turns things around. You never know.
Gotcha. Anything else, Steve?
He might have another year. Oh, that's it. Thank you.
You call anytime. Thank you. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. Yeah, we are keeping track of. I've reached out to some betting bill experts around here, and they're all locked up in meetings with all those coal smuggling in their rear end politicians that think the state of Indiana is going to go haywire if we allow gaming table. What are we going to do? Sports betting. Oh, we're all going straight to you-know-where. That is what's being discussed right now. Hey, by the way, did I mention this? Last night, anybody else agree with me? Last night was the absolute worst. The worst night of Twitter volume retweeting. My timeline, and I don't normally gripe about this because what can you do, right? Other than just not pay attention to it, which is what I normally do. But the Twitter timeline last night was absolutely chocked full of crap that I simply had zero interest in. It was like, I'd have to look. The volume of retweeting last night had to be an all-time high with Jack at Twitter. I mean, it was everything was a retweet. And it was all the same people retweeting. Anyone else notice that? The volume of retweets last night. Never ending. Yeah, gambling and sports betting bill. We might grab a hold of somebody tomorrow because I think they're all locked up in meetings right now. What's easy and sensible to me, to you, just isn't to others. I got a good. I guess I got a good way to what's it called, Tony? Compartmentalize here. I kind of view things as, here's the importance level of it. This is like DEFCON 1, but everything else is kind of DEFCON 5. Right? I think sports betting in this state is definitely, to me, DEFCON 5. Remain calm, all is well. Make it happen. We'll see where that goes. And again, we talk sports, right? We talk about, during the football season, we talk about point spreads all the time. So it would stand to reason that we would support something like that. But even more so, I'm not a huge gambler. I think most of you guys know that. But I'm damn straight, if I want to go someplace, I'm not going to play with some damn video dealer, all right? I mean, I think I'm getting scrooged and hosed enough. I love me some French lick, but I said last year I went down there and I stayed at a table. I didn't see anybody win anything for like an hour. I go, man, you guys are all getting hosed here.
I went last night.
I'm a hoverer. That's what I hover.
I went to Anderson last night and half the damn machines were down or broke.
But you know what? I hover, but I don't do this. I don't hover and act as if I deserve a free drink. Right? Yeah. I don't hover. I hover, but I don't hover and then sit down and go, oh, yeah, there's my free drink, and then hover some more. True story. All right, Andrew's at 239-1070. Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, so my question was, first of all, I liked your idea on Lou Williams. I would think that would be a perfect.
Yeah, that's pretty that's outrageous, though. I can't imagine that, that the Clippers would do that or anybody would do that. But yeah,
$8 million a year for 3 years. I mean, we got a lot of expiring. Anyways, I know that's kind of unrealistic. But anyways, what do you think about Mirotić or Randall in New Orleans? Do you think there's any way we could try one of those guys and have them replace that in the future?
Mirotić hasn't been healthy, right? And that's part of the issue. I don't think Randall is right now either. I like both of those. I don't know if they're going to have a massive fire sale. Are they? I mean, maybe they end up doing it. It doesn't seem like that's the path in which they're going. And if they decide to do it, it doesn't sound like it's going to happen until the summertime.
Yeah, I've just seen reports that they're keeping Holiday and trying to shop those two.
Yeah, I haven't seen Randall or Mirotić be shopped, but it doesn't seem like that they're really wanting to do anything. They're just not playing their guys, I guess, more so than anything else. But I haven't seen where anything might be imminent as far as both of those players would be concerned. But I did read the same thing about Holiday more than likely staying there, and that's probably the smart move. Hey, Andrew, anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate that, Andrew. 239-1070. Email address, JMV@1070thefan.com. On Twitter at JMV1070. Randall's on hold. That's always a good one right there. Tom is going to be there, too. We got more of you, and I'm on YouTube right now, The Ride with JMV. I got Will Boatman and Jim Gilmore. We're asking questions, and I've got answers to those questions coming up here on the other side. IndyCar's got the tire manufacturer now for another length of time. I'm sure you guys know that. Kevin and Kevin will talk about it trackside later on tonight at 7 o'clock. Quick slant, top of the hour. This day a year ago was a big deal. Kevin Bowen explains, and we'll go back to some of those stories in the 5 o'clock hour about just how big of a day this day a year ago was. Back with you next.
Kick off the month of May at Rev, presented by Fifth Third Bank as it returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at revindy.org.
Dan Doggins, for family leisure, the annual store-wide floor model sale is on. Huge savings on floor model items store-wide. Save 20, 30, even 50% or more on display models. Pool tables, bars and bar stools, massage chairs, game tables, and everything for your man cave and more. It's time to make some room. Deep discounts on all remaining display model patio furniture, pools, and play gyms. Pendleton Pike and Oak Landing Road or familyleisure.com. Tell them Dan sent you.
Family and fun come together.
On cold, snowy days, you just want to stay in the comfort of your home until your furnace breaks. Hi, I'm Corey Kratzberger, General Manager at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. For same-day repairs that will keep you warm and cozy, trust the highly trained technicians at 1 Hour. Call 855-1-HOUR today and get $51 off any repair. That's 855-1-HOUR.
Your comfort is just a call away. Call 1 Hour.
Terms and conditions may apply. License 8001-0668.
At Huntington, we're always looking out for you. So when our customers told us it can be tough to keep track of spending, we invented the self-driving grocery cart.
Wait, so what is this thing again? It's my self-driving cart from Huntington.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. It's a smart shopping cart that helps me stay on budget at the grocery store.
How does it do that?
Well, it's pretty simple. It makes sure everything I put in my cart keeps me on track. Watch. If I grab this really expensive bottle of olive oil and try to put it in the cart, it drives away. And when I put the olive oil down, pretty cool, huh?
What happens if I just toss the olive oil in real quick? Like this.
That happens.
So we simplified. Presenting Huntington Heads Up. You set the monthly amounts you want to spend on groceries, and we'll send a heads up to your phone to keep you on track. It's just one more way we're looking out for you. Huntington, welcome. Member FDIC, carriers message and data rates may apply.
Hi there, friends. JMV here. I'm always trying to give you the help side that I would want. For example, if you were sitting here and you were talking about stuff, I would want your advice, and I would want your help about how to handle, for example, Valentine's Day. Because clearly, if there's somebody out there that needs help in these situations, it is me. That's why it's nice that I have the advice for you. This time of year, here it is. Have you thought about it, too, what you're going to get for Valentine's Day? How about going with the world's softest pajamas from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts for over 15 years. Soft, warm, comfortable, and cozy, and she will love it. And best of all, you don't have to wrap it up because Pajamagram includes free gift packaging and delivery by Valentine's Day. So thousands of dudes out there just like you want to make sure you get in on this, but you need to hustle it up a little bit because Valentine's Day is on the way next week, and these PJs normally sell out. So here's what you do. Go to pajamagram.com. That's pajamagram.com. 1-800-GIVE-PJS. That's 1-800-GIVE-PJS or pajamagram.com for Valentine's Day, which is just a little over a week away. And tell them JMV sent you.
2018 model year closeouts. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a limited supply of brand new, never driven 2018 vehicles that must be sold now. Get up to 35% off certain closeout models, aggressively priced to sell fast. Our excess inventory will be sold, but supplies are limited, so you can't wait. Up to 35% off new 2018 model year closeouts. If you have a trade, we'll take any trade in any condition. Just pull it, push it, or drag it in. And if it won't run, we'll even pick it up. You get up to $4,000 more for your trade at Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Brownsburg. Our excess inventory will be sold up to 35% off closeout models. Plus, we have demos, repos, and early lease turn-ins. Always guaranteed approval, always better priced. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located in beautiful Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
Dan Dockage here. Thanks to KeyBank, the official banking home of the Indiana Pacers, we can keep making financial progress here and, of course, keep growing basketball here. KeyBank, use the red key, and remember, KeyBank is a member of the FDIC.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
The Pacers host the Los Angeles Clippers tomorrow evening at 6:30 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Big day for musical birthdays, Tony. Bob Marley was born on this date back in 1945. I still say this. Bob Marley's Legend is the greatest party album of all time. Greatest party album of all time. Bob Marley's Legend. Born on this date in 1945. You know who else was born on this date, Tony?
I do not, Johnny.
Axl Rose of Guns N' Roses. What was his name? Bill Bailey? Did his cousin or his brother or somebody call us one time, too, up in Lafayette?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have that song, Anything Goes, right?
Anything Goes, Guns N' Roses.
Can't stand that song.
Axl Rose on this date. Rick Astley, Tony, on this date.
Oh, boy, your boy.
Never going to give you up, never going to let you down.
Your boy.
Never going to run around and desert you.
Is that your go-to karaoke song? No, it's definitely down to Georgia, right?
Make you cry. Yeah, I can do that. And then Ravensdale, the legendary RD, the legendary Ravensdale's birthday is today. So go ahead and jump on Twitter and give him some crap.
He better call in and complain about something.
Legendary RD Ravensdale has a birthday today. There you go. List of birthdays. Corey Kinney is listening right now. Thank you, Corey. He is listening to us on the app from what is an amazing setting. Corey is in or around Reykjavik, Iceland right now. And Corey is apparently in a hotel room drinking wine with a fire extinguisher right underneath the television, which is pretty awesome. Here it is, too. Jeremy Bullard sent me this. The Pelicans continue to explore trades for Mirotic and Randall. So apparently Mirotic and Randall are on the table, but I would doubt it. JMV, do you think that we would be able to acquire Trevor Ariza by the deadline? He'd be a good fit. He just got traded to Washington, right? Yeah, I think everybody around here would like Ariza. I just don't. I don't see that happening. I'll be surprised if that happened. Carlos says this, hell no to Beverly. I'd think about a package for Drew Holiday or Mirotic, and I definitely would go after Lou Williams. Like Lou Williams. Hey, did you know that, and I believe this to be accurate, there is a head coach at Owen Valley coached Lou Williams in high school. Did you know that? Roger Fleetwood? Roger Fleetwood, the head coach at Owen Valley right now. Former head coach at Perry Meridian. Former head coach at Brown County, coached, I believe, Lou Williams down in Atlanta back in the day. I'll make sure that story is accurate. Alex Sylvester probably needs to tweet me and make sure that that's accurate. From Gordon, the worst thing you could have ever done is call RD legendary. The legendary RD, who is in the dome of everybody, 24/7, 365. Has a birthday. How about that? I got RD, Rick Ashley, Axl Rose, and Bob Marley. That's a hell of a big day right there. Tom's at 239-1070. Tom, hello. How are you?
I'm just fine. I got a question, and then I'll tell you what I think what I'd like to see them do. Wasn't it about this time last year when the players went to Pritchard and said, "Hey, don't change anything, don't make any trades. We
Correct.
like how this is going."
Yes.
Okay, so I'm wondering, are we hearing anything about what they're saying at this point this time?
I think we just assume that they want to keep this thing together the way that it is right now, but at the same time, I'm assuming they wouldn't mind to have a little helper. But, as far as the trade deadline is concerned, it's hard to do one and do the other, right? So
yeah, and I would absolutely keep it together. Now, what I'd like to see them do, though, is in addition to a Hickory night, we need a Sycamore night.
Yes.
And we sign Larry Bird to a 10-day contract and park him out on the wing and see if he can hit a three-pointer in a Pacer uniform.
Larry Bird went back to Terre Haute a couple of weeks ago, too, for a great event. Tom, thank you for the call. Hey, have you decided yet? Are you going to take me as a part of your grand prize to the Pacer thing coming up on March the 1st? Do we know that yet?
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm getting away from you for a while, though. I'm going to Seattle in 2 weeks, and
That's
we're
right
going to
here.
do Vegas, and
Well,
I'm going to
here.
go see our buddy Tucker play a little spring training action.
He better be there.
Oh, boy.
He better be there.
Oh,
hey, by the way,
boy.
did you see last night? You see Drew Stewart on the sideline was pretty funny last night when Lance was trying to get the rebound from
Let me ask you
Wagner.
this. I was going to put this in quick slam, but since you brought it up, do we have a timeline for Drew and when he's going to sign? Because you would have to think that's got to be coming up with pitchers and catchers reporting.
I would think, and he's probably listening right now, so he could share it with me if he wants to, but I'm thinking that next week would be the week for Drew Storen. Now, he could tell me thumbs up or thumbs down on that call, and he's a fantastic listener to the show, and I appreciate it. But I think he could tell us right now whether or not next week is the time.
White Sox need a closer, but what do I know?
Just wondering here. This is from Jeff List. I know that you're not a weed guy, but you'd have to admit if you and Tony were ripping bong hits in the studio for Marley's birthday, it would be hilarious must-hear radio.
And then we'd be fired.
Yeah, well, and that would be arrested. Arrested and fired is not really on my agenda for today. But, Jeff, I will tell you this. The problem I have with the whole bong hit routine is the one time I was ever really, couple of times I shouldn't say one, couple of times I was ever introduced to it, stuff puts me to sleep. It never did turn me on. Let's put me to sleep. And again, growing up where I grew up, the last thing you ever want to do is be one of the dudes that dozed off during a Hilljack party, because it would live in some form of infamy. It would. You would not want to fall, because there are a variety of things that could happen, because I was around guys that would pass out, that would fall asleep, and it never, ever ended well. So, yeah, I'm just not a weed guy. I'm just not smoking guy. Never understood smoking. And I come from the era where basically everybody smoked. Like, if you watch Mad Men right now, you go, man, that's all they ever do is smoke. That's not really how it was. That's exactly how it was in the 60s, early 70s, and into the 80s. You're just living in an era right now where, they basically put you in the bullpen of smokers. The bullpen of dirt, like at the corner of the bar on the outside in the alley next to the dumpster. Yeah, you guys are allowed to smoke in this little square. It's right here next to it's between the grease trap and the dumpster, behind the restaurant in the alley. That's where you guys are allowed to smoke. Alex Sylvester has confirmed this. Coach Roger Fleetwood did coach Lou Williams at South Gwinnett High School in Atlanta, Georgia. That's well done, Alex Sylvester. Now show up at a damn pickup game sometime, man. Get out of bed. Come on. And get Furlan, too. Furlan probably hadn't played basketball since he was at Marion. Get him going. Yeah, Roger Fleetwood is the head coach down at Owen Valley. All right, Randall on the other side, quick slant, Kevin Bowen, Jeremiah Johnson, what the Pacers may or may not do, and just how fantastic that win was last night. Plus, this day a year ago was significant. We'll move back to that next.
The Pacers' push toward postseason play continues. The blue and gold are fighting through injuries and adversity.
Oladipo is seated under the goal.
Taken off on a stretcher.
But we've been here before, and you know this team won't give up.
Thaddeus Young with yet another tremendous play.
Next up, the Pacers welcome the Los Angeles Clippers to town. Tomorrow at 6:30, every play of every game heard here. Your home for Pacers basketball is FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, Royal Spa's got great deals for you. I'm telling you, any time of year, and there's the difference between having a hot tub and, in fact, the best hot tub on the planet compared to having, I don't know, pool, something like that, right? Because the pool, it's got a cover on it right now, nobody's in it. But the hot tub, you can go in at any time of year, and now is a great time to do it, too. There is nothing better. Getting home after a difficult day and relaxing inside the Royal Spa hot tub, turning the stereo up and just having a chill type of time. Best part about it, too, the best hot tub on the planet is made right here, and it's made to your specifics. You tell Bob Dapper and the gang how you want it, and they manufacture it the way that you want it. And right now, you've got great deals on 2018 models that are still around right now at Royal Spa. And there are 3 Indy area locations. The epicenter's on the south side. That is 37 and Epler. West side off of US 36 and Avon. And on the northeast side off of Pendleton Pike. Bob Dapper, my man Derek Cleveland, Israel, and the gang at Royal Spa, the absolute best. Look them up online. RoyalSpa.com. Swim spas, gazebos, and the best hot tub on the planet. It's Royal Spa.
The iPhone XR is here at T-Mobile, and there's a whole lot to love, like those perfect portrait mode selfies you're going to share.
Nice.
And how Memojis now turn every FaceTime with the kids into fun time. In fact, the only thing you'll love more than your iPhone XR is getting it included in the price when you get an unlimited plan. That's right, get both unlimited and iPhone XR included for just $40 a month. Sure, you can get unlimited somewhere else, but for the same price at T-Mobile, you get unlimited and iPhone XR. Join today and get iPhone XR included with your unlimited plan for just $40 a line for 4 new lines. Call 1-800-T-Mobile or visit a store today.
$30 for Essentials plus $10 for iPhone XR with autopay and qualifying trade-ins via 36 bill credits. Customers may notice lower speeds and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs per month. Video at 480p for well-qualified buyers plus taxes and fees. Contact us before canceling or remaining balance is due. Qualifying service and finance agreements required. 0 down plus $20.84 per month for 36 months. Full price $749.99, 0% APR.
chronic headaches, constant sinus infections, pain and pressure. The fatigue was overwhelming.
That's Karen. She suffered for years with chronic sinus infections. She'd go to urgent care, see her doctor.
And we would do the same thing: steroids, antibiotics, nasal sprays.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of Indianapolis Sinus Center called balloon sinuplasty.
Now my sinus cavities are open. You can breathe on a constant basis and not get sinus infections. I don't get headaches anymore. I don't take naps anymore. I'm like, oh, this is miraculous.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure? Is it difficult to breathe through your nose? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with the Indianapolis Sinus Center. Call 317-528-9650. 317-528-9650. That's 317-528-9650.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99. Shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 300. That's berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 300. Berries.com, code 300.
Hey, John here for Forum Credit Union. Forum Credit Union is showing some love this month with a special scratch-off promotion. You can visit any branch location and ask for their high dividend checking and certificate promotion. It's taking place now through February the 28th. So, showing the love with Scratch and Win. After opening your account, scratch to win. A prize between the amounts of $5 and $50. Here's how to play. You open a new account with your direct deposit, at least $500 monthly tied into the Common Sense Savings Account. Bring $5,000 or more in new money to Forum by opening a certificate or IRA, and you are off and running. It's a beautiful thing. It is. They're always coming up with great ways to help you save. Now they're coming up with a great way to help you win. Talk to Trevor Green. Stop by a location, branch location, today and ask about it, or for all the information you need right now at your fingertips. Log on. It's forumcu.com.
Tinseltown comes to the Circle City when your Hickory Pacers meet the Los Angeles Clippers Thursday at 7. Tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers, Clippers, Thursday at 7.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. Soccer Saturday featuring Indy 11. If this is your football, this is your show. Saturday at 9 on The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Branch hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Welcome back. Quick slant and a smidge. You guys hang tight for that.
Totally embarrassed.
5.
Totally ashamed.
When I look at you. The latest NBA deal, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Does anybody ever break an NBA nugget of news besides him?
Brad Stevens.
Huh?
Who? Brad Stevens news.
Oh, yeah, you had Brad Stevens, man. That's going to live in infamy, too, because I held it back, remember? Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Suns have reached an agreement with the Heat to acquire, not Wayne Ellington, Tyler Johnson, or as Tony refers to him as Teen Wolf. You just referred to him as Teen Wolf because he's a white dude, right? A little short white dude who looks like Michael J. Fox out there with the Beavers, right? I can't say that?
Let's go. I think he's mixed, but I'm not sure.
No, I mean, Yeah, is that why you're saying? Because he looks like Michael J. Fox.
Because he has
what I'm saying.
Yeah, he has that. He used to rock that beard, that really weird beard.
See, why do you look at me every time like I'm saying something wrong? I wasn't saying anything wrong. I just said he looks like Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
God. So Tyler Johnson going to Phoenix. He wasn't as good as Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf was better and hairier. JMV, I remember my cousins and I crawling on the floor in the basement of our grandparents' house at their anniversary party in the 70s, like the fire commercial to avoid the hovering clouds of smoke. Hey, listen, we all rode with our parents, and they were not shy about smoking an entire pack on the way to Bloomington. We're going to the College Mall, and I'm going to go ahead and down a pack of Newports. Or more. What were those, the brown ones? The brown, more? It's from Aaron Greenfield. Solid Matthew Sweet re-entry. Yeah, love me a little Matthew Sweet. JMV, you guys need some company in the studio before tomorrow's game. Ron Kraft asking about the IU game. Or no, the Pacer game tomorrow. Yeah, I forgot. Ron's up in Turner's Block. Well done by Turner's Block yesterday, too. I mean, you guys all over the place nationally, which was impressive. Impressive. And I love the chants. The Lakers are an absolute mess, but don't let that national opinion and that angle take away from just how well the Pacers played. They did. Best performance of the season, even if the Lakers are an utter mess right now, which they are. And if anybody else is surprised that Luke Walton hasn't been fired yet, I am certainly one. I thought for sure today would be the day, because you're saying, well, you don't do it after one game. Well, you might do it after one game if you don't want him there in the first place, if Magic Johnson is the guy that didn't hire him, and if LeBron James doesn't want to play for him, and you lose by 42 points the night before. I just gave you 4 examples in modern-day sports, modern-day professional sports, how you could get fired the next day. Losing by 42, all of the above. But I'm really surprised they haven't gone that route just yet. But, yeah, I don't know how you do it. If you're the Lakers right now, what do you do? I mean, you get all these names out there and all these guys that have been mentioned about being traded to New Orleans to get Anthony Davis in return. You can tell that these guys aren't all in it right now. I mean, you've just got an absolute mess. And I don't know how do you – I mean, you can say, well, these guys need to be professionals, but – that act last night was pretty bad. Pretty funny, hilarious. I'm not going to feel sorry for them in the L.A., right? You don't feel sorry for L.A. All they do is sit back and wait for really good players to say, hey, you know what, I think I want to play in Southern California. You know what, I kind of want to dabble in Hollywood. I want to make more money off the floor. Yeah, I mean, they don't have to do a damn thing. We have to work around here. Everybody has to work. It's like Kevin Pritchard said back in September. You not only have to find talented players, but you have to find talented guys that want to be here. And it's nothing against here. Here is great. But here is not for everybody. Just like we live here and someplace else is not for us. I can tell you right now, Butte, Montana is not for me. I can tell you right now, Northwest Indiana is not for me. Because I've got more than one shirt. Right. And I bathe more than just occasionally. Right. Right, Tony? Right. I can tell you right now, Portage isn't for me.
Right.
So, no, it is a different dynamic altogether, but nobody should be feeling sorry for the Lakers at all. Hey, JMV, a 1-year anniversary of McDaniels backing out means it's time to rightfully apologize for bashing Florio. My man, you've changed your name up, too. You weren't Alan Stark. You used to be somebody else. Is that you over there?
What?
That's you. You sending me this?
No.
This guy's changed his name. Alan.
Who?
It was a different dude. It's a different dude with the same subject matter, and then in the same, kind of getting at me. Now his name is Alan Stark at ajstark050@gmail.com. I mean, could you be any more fake? That's you, though.
Florio's not even on my radio. I would never bring up Florio.
That's got to see. I just made fun of Northwest Indiana and made fun of Portage, and then just
And
magically, I just received just the fakest of fake emails from some dude named Alan Stark talking about how my sources were a boombox from Terre Haute in 1991.
Yeah, I can type up that quick email within the 12 seconds from you talking about Portage to you receiving that email.
Alan Stark. I want to see how many times Alan Stark changes names here.
Alan Stark, send a picture of yourself to John so he knows it's not me.
No, Jet's going to be
My hands
fake
are in
as
the
hell,
air.
baby. Fake. I don't know. Quick slant in a second. Randall's at 239-1070. I can always tell you. Let me alert. The Randall alert to some fun is going down right now. Go ahead, Randall.
Hey, I was going to say, since you mentioned Bob Marley, kind of a funny thing, and a guy told me one time when I was in Vegas, I said, what'd you learn? I said, your kid days listening to Bob Marley. He said, man, I learned one thing. I said, what's that? He said, man, when there's no hope, he said, there's always dope. I said, okay, I guess that might be a saying for Las Vegas. Anyway, about the Pacers. I know they don't want to obviously get rid of any of their pieces that they like, but maybe they can do something with the end of the bench. We're also not going to find anybody who's totally going to take Oladipo's place till he comes back. Maybe they can get Glenn Robinson Jr. from the Pistons and see if they can just hold down the end of the bench and stop playing. I don't know if his ankle's any better or not. I figure it is.
Clearly, Randall. Clearly, you're not down with my Wayne Ellington plan here, right? That's what I get. Nothing.
Well,
crickets.
I don't follow.
I don't either.
Necessarily.
I don't follow him either. I just know that he can shoot the three and he's on the bench.
Well, that's the thing too. I say is, they need to do something, in my opinion, to shore up the team at the end of the bench because I hate to say it, no disrespect to the guys right in the last three spots.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the roster that's put in the lineup at the games when people buy the magazine, we wouldn't know who those people are.
Listen,
we don't want practice dummies on the team. We want people who can plug in and can play.
Randall, my point.
Not just give somebody a breather.
I got you. Hey, Randall, thank you for the call. My point was this. You saw last night. I mean, right there. And you're not going to hit 19 threes. It'd be great if you did. But you saw last night when you hit the three, how it can open up everything. I mean, even if you want to describe the Laker effort last night as not great, fine. All right, they're out there. They're playing. They took a 42-point beatdown. My point has been all along, I don't think they're going to add anything major either. And again, I think it's going to be more of a buyout scenario afterwards. But my point has been all along, if you can find something, a piece, that could add to the bench in this case, that can give you a little bit more of something that you have struggled with. And that's why 2 weeks ago I brought up Ellington out of the clear blue sky, plus the fact the guy is getting 0 minutes, and he may be worthy of getting 0 minutes. I mean, Eric Spoelstra just may be saying, well, this guy is great, blah, 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 whatever, not meaning it. But he's a guy that in the past has knocked down the three. I mean, nothing great, nothing that noteworthy, but could add, something that McDermott hasn't been able to add off the bench. I'm not suggesting, you trade him for McDermott or anything like that, but you need to utilize the three more. Not 19 a game, but again, it would be great, but you need to utilize it more. Last night was an absolute great example of that. Because I got news for you. Everybody else around is going to come at you with three-point barrages. JMV, hold on a damn second. We shower more than once a week in Portage.
Yeah.
Did you shower more than once a week in Portage?
I mean, I'm the king of showering, so. Yes.
Remember a quote from Brady Bunch back in the day when Florence Henderson, the mom, Carol, said, Marcia, you washed your hair? I thought you washed your hair yesterday. JMV, I think we can get Lance back with an unlimited Hooters gift card. Yeah, he didn't show up there last night. I guess a lot of fans did, and Hooters had his Indiana-shaped Hooters table ready for him. But alas, he did not show because apparently he had to get the hell out of Dodge with the rest of the team. And I wouldn't blame him. I'd want to get out of here too.
I wouldn't show up either.
Yeah. You just take a 42-point beatdown? In no way I'm showing up. All right. You want to do a quick slant here, Tony? You ready? Did I hit you at the wrong time?
No, you're good.
Quick slant. Tony has questions, and I have answers.
All righty. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Are the Pacers catching their last 4 opponents at the exact right time? Knowing that the Heat going through a lot of trading on Saturday night. The Pelicans, obviously, in the middle of the Anthony Davis saga. The Lakers last night, and now they're going to catch the Clippers tomorrow night, possibly shorthanded. No. Do you look at...
Oh, I've got a great example of what you just asked. The games that we have seen here recently, and we'll see tomorrow night with the Clippers, is akin to me showing up at the bar at 2 a.m. with everybody hammered, and how much better do I look, Tony?
Yeah.
That's it. Yes, we are hitting it just like I hit it at 2 a.m. at the right time. They're hitting it at the right time. Right now, it's a good thing, too. You don't apologize for it. You just win, and you move on and see what you can do. Yes.
Will IU make the NCAA tournament?
I would have told you last week, no way. But considering the wins that they have now, again, Michigan State lost again last night. They've lost 3 consecutive now. God, I am going to sit here and I'm just going to flip-flop like I'm a damn bluegill on the dock here. My bad. But I'm going to say this week I feel that they are.
If sports gambling was...
Next week I probably won't.
If sports gambling was legalized, would you make at least one bet at a sports book?
Here's what I'm going to do for all you tight-butted politicians out there. I am going to put a little bit of money on the line when this is finally done. All right? We're all not going to you-know-where because of it. We're all not going to change because of it. Some are going to benefit from it. But it's an option that is long since, I think, been necessary to be an option around here. And yes, I will. I'll place one bet. I don't bet too much, though. I'm just not. Losing sucks, and there's no more losing that goes on when you place bets. How do you stand it? Don't you lose all the time? Aren't you a big loser?
Just got to waver the storm. Just ask Robin.
Then here's my problem is, if I lose betting money, I think, well, I could have, I think about Blake and Laney, and I go, well, this is what I could have done with that, and I feel like a butthole. Yeah.
A very nice gentleman who's a listener of the show and comes on the show.
Yeah.
Once told me one time, you're single. If you have to eat PB&J for 3 weeks because you lost, you're good. So you have a little bit more on the line than I guess what I would do.
That's what I think.
Anderson
about
was
the
good
kids.
to me last night, so I'm happy. Will the Pacers make any moves over the next 24 hours?
Next 24 hours, I am going to hope they do just to make it exciting, but deep down inside, I don't think they will. I think it's more of an option now than it was, let's say, a week and a half ago, Tony.
Okay, tell the folks what you learned today on your iPhone.
Tony taught me on my iPhone how to tape videos that are actually on my phone as opposed to holding them up to a computer screen and taping them like I did earlier. Is that kind of the hillbilly way to do it? Is
No,
that what
I
you're
mean
telling me?
you just record your screen, so therefore when you post those videos like you do all the time, they're not blurry because you held your phone up to your computer.
I didn't know how to do that, so I can do that off YouTube as well?
Yep. You should be able to.
I'm going to go crazy with videos now.
Some might be copyrighted, so you might not be able to, but you should be okay.
See, I do that all the time for my TVs in my house.
Yeah.
I make GIFs out of it.
All righty. What is your most bizarre talent?
My most bizarre talent is having absolutely zero talent. Because everybody else out there has a specific talent, I've got zero. None. Zero. I mean, if you want to call a talent of being able to remember stuff that happened 25, 35, 40 years ago, but I can't remember, what I did last night. I don't know if that's a talent or not. So, no, I think my talent is having zero talent. I mean, zero. None. And then being able to do something in this world.
What is the first app you open every morning on your phone?
Probably Twitter, right? Twitter, because everybody's pinging all night. I never turn it off. It's just pinging all night long, so I want to see what people are saying.
Can you name the Forbes most valuable NBA team at $4 billion?
The New York Knicks.
Yeah. Does that surprise you?
It doesn't, because it's New York.
Yeah.
I mean, we would think right now, what's the value in that? What a mess they are. But, yeah, it's New York. And I'm sure the Lakers are up there. I'm betting Golden State because of their successes up there. Here's what's funny. I was watching Hardwood Classics a little bit last night, and they had the Magic Johnson return game. He returned against Golden State.
The Warriors was on,
with Mullen. And there was zero excitement with those Warriors. But now everybody loves the Warriors. And even when they had Mullen and Mitch Richmond and Tim Hardaway, it wasn't anywhere near the stratosphere. Think about the Warriors 12, 15 years ago when Steven Jackson, for example, played there, right? And nothing. When Monte Ellis played there, it was nothing. And now it's like a 180 compared to the way that it used to be. And I guess it gives value to keep working to see if you can't, put yourself as an organization in that situation to reap the benefits that they have. It's been an amazing run. And still, if you remember in Golden State, it started with what? It started with drafting guys.
Yep.
It started with sound drafts. You bring in a Curry, you bring in Klay Thompson, and then others want to join you because you're winning so much and you're playing an exciting brand of basketball. So it can work.
It's funny you mentioned that because I saw the same game. So my next question would be, if you could watch any two NBA teams live prior to 1995, who would it be?
Oh, well, I love watching the 76ers and Dr. J. I think I've said that. I'll give you two other teams that really didn't do too much. I love the Nuggets of the 80s because I love the Nuggets with Alex English and Fat Lever and T.R. Dunn and Danny Shays. I love the Nuggets with their uniforms, too, but I also love the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, old school, Walter Davis, Alvin Adams. Those are fun teams to watch. So I probably – and the Supersonics. I mean, whatever you talk about the 70s or the 80s or into the 90s with Peyton and Kemp, the Seattle Supersonics would work for me, too.
Who you got tonight, Indiana State or Evansville?
Indiana State needs a win like Indiana State a big home win. They beat Evansville in overtime about a month ago down at the Ford Center in Evansville. Greg needs to punch one through tonight with a win. Last time out wasn't good at home against Drake, and they look like they're a team that, again, peaked early in the season. They peaked out in Hawaii against UNLV and Colorado, much like they did a year ago with that win on the road in Bloomington to kick off the season at IU. They need a huge win at home tonight, Tony.
Will Anthony Davis ever play for the Pelicans again?
He will never, ever, ever, ever play for the Pelicans again.
All right, there you go. Quick slant.
You think he'll play for the Pelicans again?
No. I'm not saying that he's going to get traded, but don't you just – if he doesn't get traded, wouldn't his agent say, look, I don't want him playing for the Pelicans because we're not going to stay here, and if he gets injured and it costs us money, we're going to be pissed.
Let me tell you something funny about that. And I heard this – I can't remember if it was this morning or yesterday, but I heard a story about Anthony Davis before and after the Pacer game. Apparently he was doing in the building, in the Smoothie King Arena, he was doing meet and greets with the fans. The fans didn't seem that outrageously angry.
Yeah.
Are the fans down there still so bent out of shape because of the lack of a call and the Saints not going to the Super Bowl, right? And having an opportunity? Because people would tell you down there, and this is where I read it and then I heard it from folks down in New Orleans, that they don't feel, and maybe it's just a complete lack of having a great fan base in the first place. But I'll give you a great example. They don't feel how most people felt about Paul George around here.
Mm-hmm.
They don't feel about Anthony Davis as everybody around here, most people around here felt about Paul George, which, may give them the opportunity if they want to suit him up and play in a game, which is outrageous because there's no way in the world that was ever going to happen around here with Paul George. But it seems like it's a little bit different from what people say down there.
And he mentioned, I think it was on his Twitter, that he thanked New Orleans and gave his blood, sweat, and tears to this city and will always remember it. So I think, I think we may have already saw this, but when somebody leaves, Paul, whatever, and they burn their jersey, when LeBron let they burn their jersey, I think I already saw one that said, we respect, you and thanks for your time here.
And the product down there is just not that popular.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that they don't play in a great arena, even though I love Smoothie King, and so do you. They don't play in a great arena. The Saints of the love affair down there. It's just not the same thing. But it doesn't seem like that, at least from what people tell you, that there's a a great deal of hatred going in the direction of Anthony Davis, and certainly nowhere near the level that was being lobbed at Paul George around here when he let loose that he wasn't going to sign long-term around here. And then all hell broke loose, and Kevin Pritchard saved the day with that trade to OKC for Vic and Domas Sabonis. And by the way, Sabonis looks right again. Sabonis is going back to not getting a whistle. Sabonis, is there anybody in the NBA that gets fouled more than Domas Sabonis? What do you think?
Bojan. It's right there, too.
Do you think? See, do you think Bojan gets fouled as much as he leads on? Because I think Domas does. I think oftentimes Domas doesn't even say much when he gets fouled.
No, I think, Domas doesn't. Bojan definitely says something to me.
I watch a ton of NBA. I watch every minute of every Pacer game. And to me, from what I have seen, nobody gets fouled as much as Domas Sabonis. Nobody. Kind of going back to a couple of years ago when he had the worst whistle. We called it the worst whistle in the NBA. That's kind of where it is right now. But the past two games, really good. He looked really good last night once again as well. And aren't you glad? You guys glad right now that you have both Miles and Domas? Right? You guys glad about that now, or are you still whining and crying? It's kind of funny. Everybody that calls me out, now you guys have kind of disappeared a little bit. What happened to you? What happened to all you whiners? Oh, you got to make a trade. Oh, he needs to play the entire game and put Miles on the bench. You guys have shut up. Which makes me happy. Quick one. We'll come back. Bowen in about 45 minutes from now. Jeremiah Johnson of Fox Sports Indiana. NBA trade deadline. The latest deals, you got one with the Clippers. You got one from Miami to Phoenix. And I think the Pistons to the Lakers, something that's being solidified as well. Back with you next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and I have a feeling that retirement is on your mind. You're wondering if you've saved enough or whether your money is in the right places. You're wondering when will you be able to retire, or will you be able to stay retired? And is your money sufficient so you can live in comfort and financial security for the rest of your life? You're wondering all this, but you really don't have to just wonder. You can resolve all these questions in your effort to enjoy a retirement that's everything you want it to be, and we can help. At Edelman Financial Engines, our clients are predominantly concerned about retirement, your financial security for your spouse, for your aging parents, for your children, and we can help you just like we've helped thousands of folks just like you for more than 30 years. So call us at Edelman Financial Engines at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com. And don't wonder about your retirement, because we're here to help you.
Men of all ages. Afraid of being embarrassed in the bedroom? Avoiding intimacy in your relationship? Afraid of approaching that special someone because you can't perform well enough? Or worse, you can't perform at all. Hi, this is the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Valentine's Day is fast approaching, and we can make you the man you were or the man you want to be in just one simple office visit. Right now, $99 gets you a medical solution the day of your visit, no matter your medical condition, and right in our office. Or there's no charge. That's right, no promises, just results or no charge. So you have nothing to lose but everything to gain. Make this Valentine's Day the best ever. Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic today for a confidential appointment. 317-999-9000. 317-999-9000. That's 317-999-9000. You can leave with the medication the same day and move from skeptic to believer. 317-999-9000. 999-9000. Or visit us online at indymensclinic.com.
Hey guys, Valentine's Day is next week, and this year you can love big and save big with Sherry's Berries. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, a great gift for your sweetheart and a sweetheart deal for you. For just $19.99 plus shipping, watch the love light up in her eyes when you send delicious dipped Valentine's strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Delicious berries dipped in dark, white, and milk chocolatey goodness, then covered in decadent toppings. Only from Sherry's Berries. All for just $19.99 plus shipping. And right now, you can add a dozen red roses to those amazing dipped berries for another $19.99. Shipped together at no extra charge. That's Sherry's Berries for only $19.99 plus shipping and a dozen red roses for just $19.99 more. The only way to get this amazing deal is to go to Berries.com, click on the microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and use code 300. That's Berries.com, click on the mic, enter code 300. Berries.com, code 300.
Tinseltown comes to the Circle City when your Hickory Pacers meet the Los Angeles Clippers Thursday at 7. Tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers, Clippers, Thursday at 7.
Hey, John, for Universal Windows Direct, how those windows doing? I'm telling you, they've got to be up to the task now because think about it. We go, minus 16, 17 last week, all the way up to 60. We're up around 50-plus today, and then coming up tomorrow, back down to the deep freeze again, and that's going to wear your windows out, especially if they're rough and they are cracked, and the cold air is coming in, and that's going to battle with the warm air. The cold air is going to win, and not only are you going to be cold, but your heating bills are going to go up too. That's why you need the super spacer technology of Universal Windows Direct. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next one free and 0% financing for 36 months. Some restrictions apply. 317-547-2600, 317-547-2600, or online, universalwindowsdirect.com. Today, like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The Pacers' push toward postseason play continues. The blue and gold are fighting through injuries and adversity.
Oladipo is seated under the goal, taken off on a stretcher.
But we've been here before, and you know this team won't give up.
Thaddeus Young with yet another tremendous play.
Next up, the Pacers welcome the Los Angeles Clippers to town. Tomorrow at 6:30. Every play of every game heard here. Your home for Pacers basketball at FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
I got a great idea for you just in time for Valentine's Day. And yeah, Brad and the gang at Diamonds Direct, they do it again. Hey, it's JMV for Diamonds Direct. How about 5 years, 0 interest financing from now through Valentine's Day? Let me give you a couple of great examples on this. Like a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings for just $50 a month. And the inventory has been expanded. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, designer jewelry. And yeah, if 2019, fellas, is going to be the year of your engagement, make it special for her. And make that trip to Diamonds Direct. Get it done right and get it done for a great price. 5 years, 0 interest financing now through February the 14th. That's only at Diamonds Direct on approved credit. Keystone, it's a crossing.
The Ride with JMV.
I care about you, Dalton.
Bull. On FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, the Tyler Johnson from the Heat to the Phoenix deal. That's got Ryan Anderson going to Miami. Shams writes this. Strong rotation trade candidate as part of the Miami Phoenix trade. Heat guard Wayne Ellington is being sent to the Suns. And then they're talking about how the Suns may try to flip that over and do something with Wayne Ellington. I'm just saying. Just saying. Actually, I'm not saying. I'm sitting here saying. I'm just saying, which is actually saying nothing. JMV, I overheard a fan last night criticize Miles' stat line for 1 rebound, saying he needed more. I'm like, are you kidding? I want to tell you this. I've been around here long enough to know that Miles is basically always going to be treated that way by some. Not all, but there are just some numbnuts around that are always going to view Miles is not doing this or not doing that because, well, A, they're not very smart, and, B, they're clowns. So not very smart, unintelligent clowns normally kind of lob that ridiculous criticism. I'll give you a great example. There's this dude named Troy. If Miles has a bad game or a perceived bad game by Troy sends me an email about it. I haven't received too many emails. You want to know why? Because Troy goes and hides. Actually, I sent one back to Troy, and I said, hey, man, where you hiding, Troy? Where are you? Where are you, Troy? Sometimes you do have to show a little bit of patience with it, whether you want to or not. You do. Just let the dude's game evolve. And play it for what it's worth right now with he and Domas Sabonis. And I have zero idea how any of you could have a negative word to say. But, again, there's some folks out there at clowns, and that's just what's going to happen. That's what clowns do. That's why they're clowns. JMV at 1070thefan.com. Getting Reggie Bullock from the Pistons, as the Lakers are doing right now. The Pacers cannot make these deals because the league favors big market teams. Yes, well, I mean, because, you know, the AAU folks that are around here want to get with their friends now and certainly want their star to shine in a big market. But sorry, you can make money around here if you're good too. And you can have success around here if you're good too. I'm sick and tired of trying to sell this place to everybody. If you don't like it, you can bail. I happen to like it. And again, as we've talked about, it's kind of a special situation where you have to try to find talented players, and those talented players have to also have the quality of wanting to be here. The way that it is. I don't see it changing. Anybody else see it changing? Anybody in the future see the Players Union and the NBA obviously the strongest with the most pull? You know, the guaranteed contracts and such, getting all that money ever being decision-making wise, fine with going to, I don't know, a franchise tag situation. I don't ever see it. I mean, the NBA's tried to pull this with, you know, with the team, the present team, you know, having the strongest objective financially to bring said star player back, and now, I mean, hell, that doesn't even work anymore. What are you going to do? Breaking news. To the breaking news desk. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Tony Donahue. Tony.
Yeah, this came down a little bit ago from Eric Berman over at our sister station, 93 WIBC. Ongoing this afternoon, tomorrow, and into Friday morning, the bills to bring a casino to possibly Terre Haute to legalize sports gambling. If the casino bill makes it all the way through to the Indiana legislation, 3 more approvals would be needed to bring a casino to Terre Haute. 1, Gary City Council, 2, the Terre Haute City Council, or if casino is planned for outside city limits, the Vigo County Council, and then a county-wide referendum. Final witness and former Indianapolis Representative John Keeler, now with the company which plans to buy the 2 Gary casino licenses. So basically, they want to move the casino in Gary that is on the water to downtown Gary. Don't know if that's a good idea, but and then they would.
Is it on the water or on the sewer up there?
Probably both.
Okay.
And then they would want to move one to somewhere in Terre Haute and make that casino somewhere in the heart of your favorite city in the world.
Terre Haute, baby. Terre Haute.
So we'll see.
Is it going to be on the Wabash?
This is an ongoing process. They're still doing testimonies and all that good stuff over the next 48 hours, more or less. And we'll keep you updated on whether or not we'll be able to sports gamble here over the next however long.
Oh, Terre Haute with a casino. Dream a little dream over there, Vigo County. That's awesome. Where's that going to go? In the Honey Creek Mall? Is it going to go where Macy's was over there?
May as well.
The casino's right next to TGI Fridays. I like it. I like it a lot. Terre Haute, everybody. JMV, well, there goes your day. Oh, the Wayne Ellington thing? Hey, you think he's going to stay in Phoenix? He's not staying in Phoenix. He might have a little buyout situation too. Jimmy. Just maybe. From Chris Duncan, I will end up divorced when sports gambling becomes legal here in Indiana. Don't go that path. Don't do it. You don't want to be divorced. Do not do it. Just handle it as a little, at times, recreational fun. Right? Just handle it that way. I don't want you, Chris, to get divorced over it.
Oh, no, dude, I'm going to do it for a living. I'm out of here. See ya.
That's from Sean. Hey, the people who wanted to trade Miles Turner should feel bad about themselves. I still have people that want to do it. Have to let him grow into the league that he is, and he's been doing that. Listen, I don't know why anybody would have a problem with it, but some still do, because some out there just are completely unwilling to change their point of view. That's the way that it happens. Now, where are you? You and your roommate have been the biggest anti-Miles folks in the past. Where are you and David
you can't
Derrick
do that.
now?
You can't do that.
I can't do that?
No.
Why can't I do that?
You can't sit there and bitch about the people who still complain about Miles and then not give any credit when people like David or I give Miles, which we have over the last 2 months, credit. So you can't sit there.
Oh, no. Tell everybody how much credit you've been giving.
We have been. I
33.
mean, it's just funny that, and mostly with Miles or mostly with the Pacers, you rip them and everybody's on top of you, whether they're an employee of the Pacers or whatever. But you say nice things about them and everybody's silent and nobody says a word. So we have
who's ripping you besides me?
Oh yeah, there's people in the
ripping.
Yeah.
I'm just ripping you about my. Listen, I mean, sometimes Miles hadn't had a good game, so I've had to take it. It's the way that it goes.
I've done nothing but praise Miles over the last month or so and given credit to where credit is due.
I don't know. I felt a tremor in the force,
but
that tremor was, I don't know, butt-hurtedness. I felt a tremor in the force that was butt-hurtedness.
I would,
for a minute.
If I'm the Pacers, aren't you doing your due diligence if you listen to offers for anybody on this team?
For anybody?
I would say for anybody, because Victor's not going to be back to what? Maybe, I mean, we don't know officially, but there's a question mark whether he starts opening night next year.
There's a difference between doing your due diligence, as you just suggested, and then downright trying to puppet the whole situation as the Lakers have done. So the Lakers have put these names out there. The Lakers, whether it's Pelinka, Rob Lowe Jr., or Magic Johnson, they put the names of these guys out there, right? So they put the names out there thinking this is an offer that New Orleans cannot refuse because, they're screwed in this situation now too. I mean, how are you going to play this guy ever again, right? So New Orleans is not acting. New Orleans is taking, or at least as of right now, taking a very patient approach. And now you're looking to Lakers going, you should have said absolutely nothing. Why did you say anything about it? Because now all these plus all they ever hear is about, like last night. I mean, the crowd, it may have turned out that way anyway, but the crowd got to those Laker guys last night. It did. You guys got to them last night. They were an absolute wreck. A wreck. They're sick and tired of hearing their names in it, and then you guys are talking about how LeBron wants you traded or you're not good enough to be traded. Actually, McGee probably had the best game besides LeBron James of any of the Lakers last night, but it's just kind of amazing. Now the Lakers have put themselves in a situation where, I mean, you can't turn around and go back. Now, again, don't feel sorry for them because they are the Lakers, and you still just ultimately sit back and wait for great things to happen and those decisions to be made because you're in L.A. But, I mean, this has been really botched by Madge and Rob Lowe Jr.
I would agree, and like I said yesterday, I wouldn't trade the core of Sabonis, Miles, and Victor. But, I mean, if the phone rings, you're going to listen to see what people would be willing to offer.
JMV at 1070thefan.com. I can't wait for sports books. When I was in San Diego every Friday after work during football season, my wife and I and a few buddies would head down to TJ. TJ, by the way, is Tijuana. Have you ever been to Tijuana?
I have, yes.
I have not.
Once.
How is Tijuana?
It was weird.
Well, I did. There's one time I went down there, and it was a friend of mine, and they wanted us to drive a truck that was made out of weed back to Southern California. That was that time. Remember that?
We were sitting there eating at some little restaurant, and I probably got sick afterwards, and there was like chickens walking under our table, and I got a fake Rolex. I got a Molex.
Placing bets and tacos. Good old days. Jason. Thank you, Jason Zanz, right there. JMV looks like a great sign. Great deal now, looking like the Miles contract. Not many young shot blockers that can do what he does. You see LeBron hesitate when he saw Turner sliding over on the weak side. He doesn't want any of that. Nobody does. Miles playing well. I mean, Miles does something every game. It hasn't been so long ago when Miles hasn't done anything in a game. But you can count on Miles doing something that's going to help this team in a game. It may not be what you want. Maybe it's not as often as you want. I'm not sure. But most games we have seen, certainly in the past couple of months, Miles is doing something that is helping out this Pacer team, which is completely bass backwards to what a lot of the people think that Miles has done in the past around here. Kevin Bowen, a little over 15 minutes away. A year ago today was a pretty big deal around here. We'll dive into that. Matt Slauson has decided to retire. He's going to stay on with the Colts. He was a huge asset to the Colts this season, certainly when his season was over and he was helping coach them up on the sideline. We got that little off-season stuff as well. Pierre Desir is how valuable in free agency? Is it comparable to Rashaan Melvin of a year ago, if you remember how that went down financially? We'll talk to Kevin Bowen about that. Get back to your calls next.
Kick off the month of May at Rev, presented by Fifth Third Bank as it returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at revindy.org.
Dan Dockage here. You know, a game plan is crucial, especially when it comes to your personal retirement finances. That's why I'm here with Casey Marks of Crown Haven Wealth Advisors.
You know, Dan, many people may feel comfortable with their retirement accounts and may even be working with an advisor who's put a plan in place that they say will allow you to retire on schedule. But the fact is, 95% of Americans are one major stock market correction away from being permanently affected.
Okay, how does Crown Haven Wealth Advisors protect your wealth?
Dan, your deposit is fully insured beginning on the first day you open an account. With your hard-earned savings protected by guarantees, your money grows on a tax-deferred, annually compounded basis, taking advantage of market gains while shielding you from losses.
Whether you have questions, need strategic advice, or a second opinion, get a customized smart money plan handcrafted for your specific goals and needs. Call Casey at 844-896-SAFE, 844-896-7233, or online at crownhaven.com.
Let's get you relaxed. Not like Tony in the last segment. Tony needs to relax a little bit. Tony needs to relax in a Royal Spa hot tub. Just not mine. His own Royal Spa hot tub. They got 2018s that right now have great deals. So talk to Bob Dapper about that at any of the 3 locations. Now, if you're also in the market for doing something with the best hot tub on the planet, you can go to Royal Spa and say, this is what I want, and you can design it the way that you want it, because the great part about a Royal Spa hot tub is they're made right here in central Indiana, not shipped in from parts unknown, and you don't really know what you're getting. You know what you're getting right here. You can count on the service that you're getting from Bob Dapper and Derek Cleveland and Israel and all my friends at Royal Spa. And again, 2018 models at the best prices of the year going on right now. So don't wait. Get the best hot tub on the planet on your back deck. And unlike Tony, be ready for relaxation with the 3 Royal Spa locations. South side, that's where they make them. That's Epler and 37, US 36 in Avon, Pendleton Pike on the northeast side. Swim spas, gazebos, chemicals, and so much more that you need online at royalspa.com. It's Royal Spa.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday for More Restoration. Chances are you or someone you know have already experienced a disaster at home or at work. A fire or flood is never something you plan on happening, but if it does, you need to know what to do and how to protect your damaged property. More Restoration is the only name you need to know when a property loss occurs. Let More Restoration help you get your property back to normal with their second-to-none, industry-leading emergency response team. Call the only number I call. Call More Restoration Disaster Cleanup and tell them Jeff Saturday sent you.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Credit card companies spend millions of dollars a year to keep you further in debt. All these gimmicks like 0% transfer, 10% off today's purchase are nothing more than traps to keep you further in debt. What if I told you the solution to all your problems was only 5 minutes away? Your home has gained equity at the fastest pace in over a decade. Put that new equity to work and pay off all your credit cards today with a cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, John's got you here. Got you covered with CarX. You're riding around central Indiana. There are like 95 potholes on your way home, and that's shaking everything loose in your car, truck, or van right now. So take it to a Joe Childers Run CarX location and let them go to work finding what's rattling, what's clanking, and fixing it. If you need new tires, and you just might, considering the pothole epidemic that's going on, they've got great deals on great tires right now. As always, the place for brakes. I just love it because I can take my ride in there, and my guy Micah and Kevin and the gang, down at CarX on 135 in Greenwood. Like, I'm going to take it in tomorrow because I got to have some lights changed. They're going to change my oil, do some other stuff as well. It is just great for the maintenance that's necessary to keep your vehicle running smoothly. It is CarX. Tell my man Joe Childers I sent you. Any of the CarX locations in central Indiana, make it CarX today.
Tesla, the multi-platinum rock and roll band, is back with the Shock USA Tour. One night only, the Murat Theater at Old National Center. This Saturday night. Tickets on sale now at the Old National Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Tesla Shock USA Tour, part of the Cricket Concert Series.
At Diamonds Direct, love and romance are what we're all about. So for this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever for you to give her that special gift that says I love you like nothing else can. Now through Valentine's Day, you can pick out the most romantic jewelry and enjoy 5 years, 0 interest financing. How about a $3,000 pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings, just $50 a month? We've teamed up with top jewelry designers to offer a special selection of exquisite jewelry, rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, and more, starting as low as $200. You can even meet famous designers in-store Valentine's weekend. It's Diamonds Direct's best ever Valentine's event, with more choices, in-store appearances by world-class designers, and 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase. And yes, all engagement rings are included in this spectacular offer. Imagine a $6,000 ring, just $100 a month. Come let us help you find the ultimate symbol of your love with payments that make it more affordable than ever on approved credit. Now through Valentine's Day only, and only at Diamonds Direct. Keystone at the Crossing.
Hey there, it's Dan Dockage. I'm a diehard Pacer fan, and when it comes to choosing a bank, I chose Key Bank, the official banking home of the Indiana Pacers. They've always got their eye on the financial ball to make sure I'm making progress every play. Key Bank, use the red key. Key Bank is member FDIC.
Butler heads to D.C. to take on the Georgetown Hoyas. Saturday morning at 11:30 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. It's The Ride with JMV.
For Christ's sakes, will you cover yourself?
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Yeah, birthday shout out. Yeah, along with Axl Rose, the late great Bob Marley, and Rick Astley. It's my man RD. So we bring him on here right now, serenading him with a little Pearl Jam Alive from the great album Pearl Jam 10. RD's at 239-1070. RD, hello.
What is up, brother?
Happy birthday, RD.
Thanks, my man. Hey, it's bad enough, man, that 4 hours of you every day, and then every time I get on 465, I got to see your artificial lettuce on a billboard.
Drive by at night because it's not lit up.
It's not lit up.
I noticed that last night. I noticed that last night.
Hey, dude, hey, RD, suspiciously, they didn't pay the light bill on that particular billboard, right? Suspiciously.
Yeah, maybe some people pitched in for that. You might want to look into that. Hey, you boy Greenwood Red talking smack on Twitter about me. Dude's like 7'5", 400 pounds, ginger with a buzz cut. He's less athletic and articulate than Andre the Giant. I mean, he probably ought to save some of that smack for the second place team. I mean, oh my God, dude, come on now, come on, Red, get it together, buddy. And I do have a serious question for you about the Pacers. I hear everybody calling in about Miles, complaining about Miles. What exact standard are they holding him to? I mean, are they expecting this guy to be, Shaq or Kareem or?
Let me tell you this: I get a bunch of cranks around here that want to compare him to Roy Hibbert. Seriously, that's where some of these numbnuts go around here. Yeah, that's true.
Man, that's just wrong. But but these guys also think Rick Venturi's an expert on stuff. So
come on, man. Come on. That's my brother. You can't do that.
Hey, man, it's my birthday. I call in once or twice a year. You got to let me have a little bit of fun.
Don't do that. That goes with anything goes. You can't do that between 3 and 6. Go ahead.
How about noon to 3?
Yeah. There's no way you're getting through on that one. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be too hard to sneak past that Memphis guy, but thanks for taking my call, man. Have a good night.
Hey, have a good birthday, RD, right there. The infamous RD. Adrian Wojnarowski says Agent Mark Bartelstein is working with the Suns to waive-guard Wayne Ellington and allow him to join a playoff contender. League sources tell ESPN. Ellington is arriving with Tyler Johnson. La, 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 la.
James Jones, hi.
Hello.
This is Peter Dinwiddie with the Indiana Pacers. You might remember me from your
Can you do some
here.
math for us really quick?
Why don't you just put Wayne Ellington on a plane and send him to Indianapolis?
Do you think Pete Dinwiddie's listening right now?
No.
Hey, if anybody knows the man with two brains, Pete Dinwiddie, I thought we had his cell number, and it's not to get any inside information. I have a serious financial question regarding the NBA to ask him. So if he has time, just tell him, if you have my number, or tell him to send me a message. I need to get the man with two brains, not on the show. I've got to ask him a legitimate financial question. I think 2 + 2 is 5, so I'm not the guy to ask about it. So I'm going to ask a professional, Pete Dinwiddie. So if you're out there listening, man with two brains,
if you are listening, stay the hell away from Jabari Parker.
I need you, Pete Dinwiddie.
I like that guy who tweeted the other day or emailed you and said that we need our own consulting firm since, we basically brought Jason Gardner to IUPUI and, we tell you who to go get and who to stay away from.
No doubt about it. We've always got the inside right here. Hey, by the way, back to RD for a moment. We had, back at the other place, we had a message board, and RD and a bunch of dudes, about 30 dudes maybe on it, and they followed around the show. They're fun guys to hang around, but they just ripped everybody, including me. That's one of the reasons why Chris Hagan hated me for a month, was because of that. Because Brad Shoemaker over there, BS took a picture of Chris Hagan shoveling some meat in his mouth up at Sullivan Steakhouse, and he got mad at me and hated me for a month. That was the absolute wild, wild west of message boards right there. But it was fun. And, people always say, why didn't you mind? I mean, these guys rip me more than they rip anybody. I mean, I was Powder. I was fat. They call me Powder all the time. That was my nickname, Powder.
It should still be your nickname. Look at you.
Powder.
White ass.
Hey, Bart, hang on. We're going to get to you on the other side. Kevin Bowen's going to join us, too. A year ago today was an interesting day in sports history around here. We'll talk to Kev about that. JJ, bottom of the 5 o'clock hour, about the Pacers last night. Again, quick shout to Turner's Block. You guys were awesome last night. The Pacers, a 42-point win over L.A. with a trade deadline looming. We'll keep you updated. Back with you next.
The Pacers' push toward postseason play continues. The blue and gold are fighting through injuries and adversity.
Oladipo is seated under the goal, taken off on a stretcher.
But we've been here before, and you know this team won't give up.
Thaddeus Young with yet another tremendous play.
Next up, the Pacers welcome the Los Angeles Clippers to town. Tomorrow at 6:30, every play of every game heard here. Your home for Pacers basketball is FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Hey, Dan Dockage here for my friends at Just Add Water Boats. There is absolutely nothing I love more than my Yamaha boat. Do not wait to buy that boat when it's hot out. Buy it now, because Yamaha is enticing you with great deals now. And Just Add Water Boats is having their best of show sales event where you can grab as low as 0 down and 4.99 APR, or as low as 3.99 for the first 60 months on Yamaha boats. Visit at 465 on the east side, or check them out online at justaddwaterboats.com.
Hey, business owners, does your Wi-Fi ever slow down because of your customers? Do downloads lag when they stream videos? Ever tried to finish payroll while clients hog up your bandwidth? Then make the switch to Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast when you add Wi-Fi Pro, which lets you allocate how much bandwidth you give to customers and your business. So while customers are busy streaming, emailing, and chatting, your employees can still be productive. Wi-Fi Pro on the nation's largest gig speed network. A great experience for your customers and your business. Switch to Comcast Business now for an amazing deal. Get 75 megabit internet for just $49.95 a month when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Wi-Fi Pro available for an additional charge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 2/28/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue pill is now generic.
which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/good. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/good. That's 4hims.com/good for your first month for just $5. 4hims.com/good.
2018 model year closeouts. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has a limited supply of brand new, never driven 2018 vehicles that must be sold now. Get up to 35% off certain closeout models, aggressively priced to sell fast. Our excess inventory will be sold, but supplies are limited, so you can't wait. Up to 35% off new 2018 model year closeouts. If you have a trade, we'll take any trade in any condition. Just pull it, push it, or drag it in. And if it won't run, we'll even pick it up. You get up to $4,000 more for your trade at Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in beautiful Brownsburg. Our excess inventory will be sold up to 35% off closeout models. Plus, we have demos, repos, and early lease turn-ins. Always guaranteed approval, always better priced. Bill Estes Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, located in beautiful Brownsburg at the hottest corner in Hendricks County.
1 hour heating and air conditioning at 855 1 hour. We're about to go back to the deep freeze. Seriously. What do you think about your heating unit right now? Running the way that it should? Get the experts out there at 1 hour to make sure everything is running well. You're not losing money and you're not being cold inside because your unit is not doing what it should. Also, if you need a repair done, the experts at 1 hour will shave $51 off of any repair right now. That's the smart move to make this time of year, making sure that system is running smoothly with 1 hour heating and air conditioning. It's 855 1 hour today.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Hey, Dan Doggett here. Join me on Thursday. We're going to preview Indiana and Iowa, get you set for that. Also, I got to talk some Colts. I feel like I need to talk Colts with you, noon to 3.
The Ride with JMV.
The soft tropical air caresses your skin with a gentle kiss.
FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Welcome back. Kevin Bowen in just a second. Jeremiah Johnson, bottom of the hour. Thank you for joining us. Love you here. Instant replays at 6. You guys are asking, and we don't normally do anything goes if we're not going after 6 here. So you guys are going to cuss me out, but it doesn't look like anything goes is going to happen later on. Anything Goes will return tomorrow. In case you don't know what Anything Goes is, well, the most unfiltered segment in the history of indie radio. If you've heard it so far, it's pretty ridiculous. Gets a little bit wild. You can check it out, 1070thefan.com. I think you can check it out on Spotify as well. There are a couple of segments that are up there. They are interesting to say the least, but we have yet to add it to the 3 to 6. Normally, we just do it when it goes after 6. So those of you that are asking right now, does not look like there's Anything Goes. JJ, as I mentioned, at 5:30. Trackside later on tonight at 7 o'clock with Kevin and Kevin here in studio. Tony? Good breaking news. We got double-barrel breaking news action. The breaking news desk. Here's Tony Donahue. Tony?
Well, it just keeps coming, and we'll see what happens over the next 24 hours. We'll start back on what we talked about last hour with the gambling bill. Senate Public Policy Committee approves casino and sports betting bill unanimously. It goes now to the Appropriations Committee, which has 2 weeks to hold a hearing and vote whether to send it to the full Senate. So obviously it's got to go through the full Senate. to be approved.
So we still got to go through some tight-butted politicians around here is what you're saying.
But this has to happen, right, before it to move forward. So
don't
that's a good
be
step.
a tight-butted politician. Give Terre Haute what they want, a casino.
And give us a sports book downtown.
A sports book downtown.
I'll work there. It'll be great.
Give us tables at Hoosier Park and at Indiana Grand. Real tables and not that video BS that we see. Come on, tight-butted politicians.
Second half of the breaking news. John is coming from Sam Amick of The Athletic. On the Mike Conley front, sources tell The Athletic that Indiana remains among the teams in talks with the Memphis Grizzlies to land Mike Conley. Utah, as others have been mentioned, also involved. Indications from Toronto and Pacers side that Grizzlies' price is too high. So
too high, baby.
First of all, don't sell the farm for one cow. Second of all, if you are going to make the deal, make sure the paperwork gets in.
Zing. Who was that years ago?
They were trading for O.J. Mayo.
O.J. Mayo. That was Josh McRoberts and O.J. Mayo right there, right?
Yep.
That's very true. Hey, we ever find out where Josh McRoberts was?
No, I got a hold of his mom, and she said that she passed along the info, and we never heard from him. So,
come on, McRoberts?
You know, McBob, we'd love to catch up with him.
Where are you, McRoberts? It's from Tyler Conaway. Hey, JMV, Pierre Desir is a must-keep. Does as good a job as any defensive back in the league on Hopkins and Cooper. And here's the thing. If you look at the list right now of free agent corners, it is not deep. And you would think that somebody might come after Pierre Desir, maybe with more cash than what the Colts are willing to pay. And before you say no, never, remember similar things happened to Rashawn Melvin a year ago. Hey, Bart, I'm going to get to you coming up on the other side, too. Okay. You don't think I am? Or do you want me to get to him now?
You may as well take him now because I'm sure he's going to lead
you
into
sorry about that.
He's going to lead you into Bowen.
Hey, Bart, Tony moved you to the front of the line to 239-1070. Bart, go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I just wanted to put this out. Nobody in Indiana cares about Josh McDaniels. A little punk, looks like he should be playing golf. He is a very good coach, but we got the best thing that ever happened to the Colts in Frank Reich. That's my point being right there. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Bart. On the Eddie Moore Automotive Group hotline, he waited for Bart's phone call. He writes articles and does talk shows and is getting married and will not tell us where he's going to hold his reception, but by God, I'll find out, and I'm going to send people there anyway, just out of spite. Kevin Bowen joins us. You know I'll find out where that is. If you don't tell me, I'm finding out.
Wow, that was quite the intro from Bart. And, I saw Matt Taylor today and was quickly reminded not to tell you where I'm getting married at sometime in the month of February.
I'll tell you what, just don't worry about that. Just hope that something else is going on with me that day, because then I'll find out.
Yeah, I'm going to need Laney to have a basketball tournament or something that day.
Yes, you will. Absolutely. Hey, before I get to Bart had to comment, and this is a huge day. A year ago today was certainly huge in forming what we know this Colts team to be right now, with the bad that turned into the absolute good. I want to get to that in a second. But I want to ask you this. Considering this offseason, cornerbacks, free agency, it's not that deep. And there might be more of a premium on trying to find guys out there. And you'll find Pierre Desir about 5 guys down the list here. Could this be maybe similar to the situation the Colts had to deal with Rashawn Melvin a year ago?
You know, I know on paper there's a lot of reasons to see why it could be similar, but I think there are a couple of reasons why it's a better marriage for Desir and the Colts. First of all, I think Desir's a little bit different personality than Melvin. I think Melvin was pretty steadfast that he was going to cash in and he was looking for that major payday. Pierre Desir is a guy that I think, he just has an established family, has loved it here in Indianapolis. Chris Ballard rewarded him already once with a 1-year deal last offseason. Now, I think it'll take a little bit more, probably a multi-year deal for a guy that does turn 29 years old in September. But I think Ballard looks at Desir as that definite fit for this defense, whereas Melvin, clearly that price tag didn't add up for the new defensive scheme. And I think what Pierre Desir did at the end of the year against DeAndre Hopkins in both those meetings, he needs to come back. Yeah, I can't sit here right now, and I wouldn't want to bank on definite answers out of Quincy Wilson, Nate Hairston, and Jalen Collins. I'd rather bring back Pierre Desir and continue to grow those young guys, and then you have a passing of the torch a little bit down the road. So I think from both sides of it, I just feel like there's better mutual compatibility, if you will, between Desir and the Colts, and I just never really felt that between Melvin and Indy.
That's Kevin Bowen, 1070thefan.com, and he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Matt Slauson, is he I didn't read this in its entirety today. Is he staying with the team? Is he going to coach him up?
He didn't announce that, but, I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, there isn't an opening right now. The assistant offensive line position is currently open. I think it's the only position on staff that is open right now. So, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I mean, he pretty much coached this offensive line group or helped coach them over the last 2.5, 3 months of the season once he went on injured reserve with that two broken vertebrae. So, it seemed like Slauson was trending towards that. I know he talked about, wanting to play another season, but the guy that ended, on IR, I think before the month of November, he's been on injured reserve 3 out of the last 5 years. So it would not surprise me at all if coaching was in his future, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if that happened here in Indianapolis. I know Chris Ballard thinks really, really highly of him.
Yeah, completely agree. It's Kevin Bowen on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So a year ago, today was fairly significant around here, and I cannot for the life of me think of a situation that was just so egregiously awful the way that it turned out initially that just it turned into an absolute blessing with Frank Reich here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it, John. I mean, I was stunned. I mean, I'll never forget just kind of almost where you were type of moments in the sports landscape here in Indianapolis. And, you, me, and Tony were talking about it earlier, watching a Butler game and was really into this Butler game sitting on my couch. And then all of a sudden, I think Adam Schefter had the news first. And McDaniels goes from being the head coach of the Colts for 8 hours and then informs Chris Ballard around 7 Eastern time when Ballard's in the midst of draft meetings. And, remember Ballard had just gotten through the whole Edwin Jackson just tragedy. Edwin Jackson is killed in this automobile accident late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, right before the Super Bowl. Ballard doesn't even watch the Super Bowl because, he's consoling, Jackson's teammates and, probably setting up early funeral arrangements for Jackson. And then at the same time, you're waiting to finalize things with Josh McDaniels and get the introductory press conference set up and all of that. And then, boom, here you are, thinking you have your head coach, thinking that a plane is going to deliver him to Indianapolis, and you're going to have this press conference on a Wednesday, and McDaniels calls you during the middle of draft meetings, and it was a very short call, as Chris Ballard let us in on, and said he was having a change of heart.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Butler game. It was the Xavier game. Butler played Xavier and lost in overtime, I believe, right? That was the Butler game that was on, yeah.
I remember watching it and just being like, it was Trayvon Blewett and Keelan Martin. It was kind of a shootout between those two seniors, and all of a sudden I'm like, am I really dealing with this right now? I'm like, this is unbelievable. I just wasted so much time watching New England film, and I think we'll always remember the press conference the next day, just how great of a representative Chris Ballard was for the organization. And that was still when we were dealing with a lot of Andrew Luck saga. I remember half the questions that day were about Luck and just him throwing and did that play in Josh McDaniels turning his back? And, I think what told the entire story on Josh McDaniels in that 24-hour period was his agent, Bob Lamonte, firing McDaniels as a client the next day. Like, this was clearly the most blindsided thing, not only for the Colts, but for his agent, who also was the agent, and I think is the agent of Chris Ballard.
Right. Yeah.
You don't see that happen very often, agents firing clients like that, but that's just how disrespectful of an act he felt like Josh McDaniels did.
Yeah, and there was a helper there because most people had to be talked in to that first hire and were not really sad when they found out that he wasn't coming. But, and then, to be 7th and 8th down on the list as Frank Reich was and to make that call, it just turned out it was an absolute blessing for this place, for this team, for this organization, for this fan base. That's exactly what it was.
Such a blessing. And I know you've touched on this several times recently. A lot of credit goes to Jim Irsay. Bill Polian, I think, has told the story about he landed in Bristol. I think he was doing some TV that week. He landed in Bristol late on, it was a Tuesday night when all this happened last year, and immediately called Jim Irsay and wanted to speak to him about Frank Reich and the change of direction that he felt like the Colts needed to go. And then Polian contacts Ballard, and the rest is history. And you had an interview with Dan Campbell on a Thursday. You had Frank Reich in for a 10-hour interview on a Friday. And then once Leslie Frazier wrapped up his interview on Saturday, it was a foregone conclusion that Frank Reich was going to be the next head coach. And it's in a way, it's very different, obviously, than the Paul George situation. But it's amazing how you look on it a year later and you just had Frank Reich, probably the runner-up or should have been the runner-up, for Coach of the Year, and just how solid of a ground this foundation is for the Colts compared to where it was 365 days ago.
Kev, you mentioned the Paul George situation, too. We'll make a transition to the Pacers trade deadline. And, yeah, of course, they've kind of been in the epicenter of the mess that is the situation between the Pelicans and the Lakers, and certainly much more of a mess, I think, right now for the Lakers, because you could tell last night these guys, they're not going to play for anybody right now, especially the guys that were on that long list of Laker players that were going to be dealt to the Pelicans, and now the Lakers have bowed out. You can kind of tell that these guys don't have a great deal of interest right now in playing. At least that's the way that they looked last night. You know the difference, though, between Anthony Davis and Paul George? Around here, there's no way in the world Paul George could have played for this team. I mean, no way. I mean, zero he could have played another game. But it doesn't seem like that the folks in New Orleans are that preoccupied with anger when it comes to Anthony Davis. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, I think here you got a little bit more of a passionate fan base. And I think you have a fan base that feels a little bit closely tied to their stars locally. And I just don't think Paul gave that to Indiana at all down the stretch. New Orleans right now, probably a lot of attention before this Anthony Davis stuff became center stage, surrounded, what happened to their professional football team during the NFC title and dealing with that. I mean, hell, on Sunday they're having marches in their city to not watch the Super Bowl and all this stuff. And it just seems like, especially last night, I mean, you saw firsthand from the crowd and the animosity towards the Lakers and all of that. I just get the vibe that it's a little different here with how the Pacers and this fan base looks at their team versus the Pelicans in New Orleans.
Yeah, you're right about that. There's no question. All right, trade deadline approaches. What are you looking at? I mean, anything at all? I will say this. I didn't think the Pacers would do anything maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But after the Vic injury and then seeing that slide that they were on initially and now kind of building it back up with 3 consecutive wins, I think I am more interested to see and thinking maybe they might do something. I still say it's going to be somebody that's going to be either cut or bought out that's going to be available that they're going to sign and won't have to part with anybody. But I think more of an opportunity might be there than I think maybe 2 weeks ago from a trade standpoint.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that, John. I'm probably more on the you don't need to buy too much right now because I don't know where that gets you. I think it ties your hands a lot moving forward in a summer that you really want to be flexible with your cap space because there is such a deep pool of free agents. And you can go in multiple ways with all these, what do you got, 6 or 7 guys in the final years of their deals right now. And for Kevin Pritchard, I think it's really interesting how he's viewed the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago tonight was when Victor Oladipo suffered that injury. You immediately go in this tailspin of losing 4 straight. To 3 of the bottom feeders of the NBA. And I'm sure everyone at that point is screaming, if you can sell, some of these veteran pieces, do you go ahead and do that? And now you've won 3 in a row. You have one of the most impressive performances. I don't care how dysfunctional the Lakers are. Last night was one of the, best performances you're really ever going to see in the NBA. And all of a sudden now in the last 24 hours of the deadline, do you feel like you can buy a little bit more? And do you think there's a chance there? now that this new group has won a few games together, I would probably pump the brakes on that, but I could see Kevin Pritchard maybe thinking that. So I agree with you, and though I tend to think maybe a buyout option. You know, is it a Wes Matthews? Is it a Wayne Ellington? You know, is it some sort of two-guard to help you out? Because I know Aaron Holiday and Edmund Sumner were great last night, but, you know, can you count on them night in and night out for the rest of the season, especially when you have an inconsistent Tyreek Evans in front of them? So part of me thinks no move of substance here in the next 24 hours. But, again, Kevin Pritchard probably is a little bit more active than I would be.
All right, Kevin Bowens on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. So Sam Amick back at the 4 o'clock hour tweeted this out. You might have seen it from The Athletic. Here it is. On the Mike Conley front, sources tell The Athletic that Indiana remains among the teams in talks with Memphis to land him. Utah, as others have mentioned, also involved. Indications from Toronto and the Pacers side that the Grizzlies' price is prohibitively high. Now, another guy from The Athletic countered with this. This is Tony Jones. I don't know if this means anything. It's just to spark the conversation between you and I. Tony Jones writes, I heard this as well. Indiana came in with an offer per sources of one young player and one veteran, and Memphis's counter was exceedingly high. Now, in this thread, this Tony Jones guy was asked, okay, who was the young player and who was the veteran? I didn't see where he named the veteran, but he did name one of the young players as being Aaron Holiday. I don't think anybody in the world would want to sacrifice Aaron Holiday in this situation right now for Mike Conley in the future, would they? Here?
So are you guessing like a Holiday and a Thad Young, a Holiday and a Bogdanovich? Well, I mean, because you got to match salary.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. The veteran would have to be like one of the two that you just named. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I would not do it. I think there's a lot of people that would do it, though. But look, I love Mike Conley as a player. I think it's a crime he's never been an all-star. But he's had injury history. An injury history plus 32 million, I think it might be. I mean, it's north of 30 million. I mean, Victor Oladipo barely makes over 20. So now you're going to take an injury-prone point guard over the last 3 or 4 years, and you're going to fit him into – and I guess the fit wouldn't be too hard with Conley because I do think he's a pretty seamless guy that you could throw in there. But all of a sudden, you bring that cap space. Now you've totally, really tied your hands into what you want to do next summer. And you've also, you know, traded away a guy that, you know, could be your long-term starter at point guard. So I think when you combine the money, the age a little bit, you know, was he right around probably 30, 31 years old, and you look at the injury history as well, I wouldn't do it. You know, I just think it's too much money to tie up in the here and now where your ceiling for this season, I know Conley's under contract for a couple more years, but your ceiling this year, even with Mike Conley, I cannot see this team being an Eastern Conference finalist or something beyond that. And I think when you see the moves that Philly has made and just the overall talent that Boston still has and how well Milwaukee and Toronto continue to play, I don't think Mike Conley cures all and all of a sudden means this is a team that can play, you know, deep into the month of May.
Yeah, I look at it this way. Kevin Bowen joins us too. I want to see what Aaron Holiday can do here. I want to see if Aaron Holiday can be at the level of his older brother. I mean, not Justin, but I want to see if he can turn into that. And I'm not willing to sacrifice what might be his upside. Right, I'm just not. So.
Yeah, obviously he was great last night. You love his aggression, and just he comes in the game and is not afraid at all. You know, a little bit turnover prone, and the shot's been streaky as a rookie. But you see flashes of why the Pacers felt like he could be a starting point guard at some point in his career. And with your current situation, Collison in a contract year, Corey Joseph in a contract year, this is a guy that could be starting, you know, for this team in, you know, 7 or 8 months. So
yeah, exactly. Well, yes, exactly. I think that gives you the option, a really good option to make a decision on, you know, Collison and put you in a good spot with Collison and Joseph in mind. I know that everybody around here loves Mike Conley, and hey, that'd be great. But I kind of want to see what Aaron Holiday turns into. Call me crazy.
And I think what you have to look at, too, is, okay, you have, whatever the rookie contract is for Holiday. What is it? I'm guessing here, a handful of $1 million. That's, $27 million less than what Conley's going to make next year. He's 8 years younger than him. Now you have that open cap space in the offseason to where you can go get Victor, another wing, maybe a four-man, something else to where now you have those two all-stars, Miles, Domas, and I think that's the core that you ride with moving forward. You obviously hope Victor comes back fully healthy. Boyan is going to be an interesting market to see just how much he commands after the season that he's had this year. But that's how I would go about things if I were Kevin Pritchard right now.
Yeah. All right. And, I was mentioning this, too. I mentioned Wayne Ellington a couple of weeks ago, and then he's apparently going to get traded from Miami with Tyler Johnson to Phoenix, and who knows what Phoenix might try to trade him, may go ahead and buy him out, let him go, whatever the case might be. This is no great shakes by any stretch of the imagination, but I think we saw last night 19 threes, the importance of three-point makes, and the importance that maybe Ellington could bring that certainly guys on that team off the bench aren't bringing right now, and one being Doug McDermott. I see that a low reward. It may not be a high reward, as the saying goes, but to me it could be an incredibly low risk that could pay off coming off the bench if it decided to go that direction.
Yeah, I would say that's the route that I think the Pacers are most likely to go, more of an Ellington. I mentioned if Wes Matthews gets bought out or who knows what's going to happen there. Those are the types of moves that I could see. And you are obviously spot on with the lack of scoring production they've gotten. Putting last night aside, Sumner and Holiday, Corey Joseph has struggled when he was in the starting lineup when Evans was banged up. Evans, again, has obviously been pretty inconsistent himself here over the past week or two. So those guys, when you've really lacked scoring and playmaking from the two guard, Ellington would get you better shooting, Matthews as well. That would at least, I think, give you a little bit more of backcourt support right now that you just don't have. And I guess that's what I'm curious to see over the next week before the All-Star break. I know you have to make a decision by Thursday, but was last night in a way a bit of like, and I do this a lot with my job, John, but it's comparing it to the Colts with the Pacers season. The Colts desperately needed wins after the 1-5 start. They were handed the perfect schedule of Derek Anderson in Buffalo, then the dysfunctional Raiders, then the soap opera that the Jacksonville Jaguars are, and you roll off 3 in a row, and then you're back on track. Here are the Pacers in a bit of a tailspin, losers of 4 straight, and now you're facing New Orleans without 5 of their top 6 scorers, L.A. having so many issues right now inside that locker room, and now you're going to see the Clippers tomorrow night, and they just traded away their best player. So I'm really curious to see how this team if they can continue this at home going into the All-Star break, and maybe did last night shift Kevin Pritchard's thinking a little bit to saying, okay, we need to buy a little bit more than I previously thought.
Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers was quoted on Twitter as saying this, Kevin Bowen: "Last night was the saddest Lakers game I've ever seen, and I've watched most every game since 1980. So if Flea's not happy, by God, nobody's happy in La La Land. Nobody.
And I believe Tony said the Trafalgar fans were in attendance. The
I don't
Lakers
know where he
fans.
gets Trafalgar from right there. I mean, I don't know what he's...
Last Monday night, we had all the Carmel kids in the building for the Warriors game. Last night, the Lake show was out in full force, and they went home pretty sad. That was one of the more pathetic performances I've seen from an NBA team ever.
Kevin Bowen, 1070thefan.com's riding with the Colts and with the Pacers, all that and more in mind, and he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. My friend, thank you very much, and hey, don't try to keep that destination for the reception a secret, because I'll find out. All right? Don't try to do it. Just tell me.
I mean,
just tell me.
It's honestly keeping me up at night, John.
It should. Thanks, brother.
See you, John.
Kevin Bowen on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I'm sorry, I don't want to get rid of Aaron Holiday. I don't want to dangle Aaron Holiday. I don't want to get rid of Aaron Holiday. Am I wrong about that, Tony? We got to hit a break. Am I wrong?
I like him.
He's
got a lot of upside. Keep him.
I think Aaron Holiday can be like his older brother. I do. I'm going to say no to Aaron Holiday. It's just a rumor, but I'm going to say no to Aaron Holiday. JJ, other side, 5:30, Fox Sports Indiana. Got some tickets to give away, and we'll dive into last night's game. Just how great, how much of an edge, just how fantastic that environment was, led by Turner's block. JJ, other side next.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive Little Blue Pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. Right now, get your first month supply for free. All you pay is just $5 for your medical consultation when you go to 4hims.com/good. After that, it's just $30 for a month's supply. Sure beats paying big bucks for just one blue pill, doesn't it? Plus, you won't need an awkward in-person doctor's appointment to get the prescription. Hims has doctors online who can prescribe the medication, and a pharmacy sends it right to your door. It's affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To get your first order for just $5, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/good. That's 4hims.com/good for your first month for just $5. 4hims.com/good.
Islanders in the Caribbean like to say that if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. Hi, I'm Rick Edelman, and that's great advice for the stock market, too. It's easy to get upset when the market falls, but what we have to remember is that this too shall pass. Now, that's easy to say, but sometimes it can feel hard to do. So in times like these, when stock prices are swinging wildly one day to the next, making you worry that your financial future might be at risk, here's the advice you need. Don't feel that you have to go it alone. I invite you to talk with one of my experienced financial planners at Edelman Financial Engines. Let's take a look at your investments and see if they're doing what you need and expect. We'll either reassure you that you're doing what you should be doing, or we'll give you recommendations to help you get the peace of mind you need so you can, well, wait for the sun to shine once again. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
It's PAI, WeGrowHairND.com. Darren Anders, the private consultation to get some coverage back on that dome. Your real growing hair again, and that's the key word here, real. It is real. Nothing fake about it at all with PAI. Darren Anders and folks you can trust. Hey, listen, I just got a call today from somebody that said, I was just talking to Darren. I really like what they're doing. And you just want that dome coverage again with PAI. And you can get it with multi-unit hair grafting. Find out all about it. Log on right now. WeGrowHairND.com today.
Guys, when you're dealing with ED issues, talking about intimacy can make you uncomfortable. So we'll use another word for intimacy, like basketball. Basketball! Look, you love basketball. Your wife loves basketball, and you both want some hot and sweaty basketball right now. But then, double dribble. Oopsie! And by double dribble, I mean ED issues. You need to get to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. The Indianapolis Men's Clinic knows that erectile dysfunction is a serious issue that affects 50% of men. That's why they offer a comprehensive approach to battling ED, low T, and even PE, which is kind of like a 3-second violation. Plus, a performance promise. If it doesn't work for you, you don't pay. Before you know it, you'll be back in the game with a slam dunk! Call the Indianapolis Men's Clinic and book your $99 office visit today. Call 317-999-9000, 317-999-9000, or at IndyMen'sClinic.com.
Get up and go now, so you can go tonight.
Chad and Tyler Peterman.
Hey Tyler, it's Freebuary, the month to get a new air conditioner plus a free furnace from Peterman. Purchase a Bryant AC system and we'll include a free Bryant 80% furnace, air filter system, and a programmable thermostat. That's over $1,500 in savings, plus 36 months free financing is available. Don't delay, Freebuary only lasts for 1 month.
Call 859-4270. Peterman's the way to go.
John here with a great idea, just in time for Valentine's Day. Now until Valentine's Day, here it is. A completely original gift for her. The world's softest pajamas from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts for over 15 years. Soft, warm, comfortable, and cozy. She will love it and love the way that they look. And best of all for you, you don't have to wrap it. They're going to send that bad boy wrapped for you. Free gift packaging and delivery just in time for Valentine's Day. So thousands of dudes just like you are going to make sure the loved ones get the world's softest pajamas from Pajamagram. You can too, but hey, don't wait around here because these PJs will sell out. So here's what you do. Pajamagram.com or 1-800-GIVE-PJS. Again, 1-800-GIVE-PJS or Pajamagram.com right now. Tell them JMV sent you.
Tinseltown comes to the Circle City when your Hickory Pacers meet the Los Angeles Clippers Thursday at 7. Tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers, Clippers, Thursday at 7.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
JJ in his seconds. Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. Red Hot Chili Peppers from the early 90s right there. One of the great albums of the decade. The reason why I bring it up is because I retweeted this. I got to give Steve credit because Steve sent this to me. It was from earlier in the afternoon. Flea, bass player, Red Hot Chili Peppers, said this about the game last night. Last night was the saddest Lakers game I've ever seen, and I've watched most every game since 1980. If Flea from the Chili Peppers not happy about last night's game, then nobody would be happy for last night's game. Not happy. JJ in a second. Tony Cobb right now at JMV 1070. Let's just pretend you have to give up either Miles or Sabonis for whoever. Who do you keep long term? Hey, here's the thing, Tony. I'm not going to answer. You can keep them both. You don't have to make a decision right. Why in the world would you want to get rid of either? I mean, what would sell you on getting rid? Because, listen, no, you're not getting Anthony Davis. Yeah, great deal. Trade for Anthony Davis. And again, this is just me being hypothetical. It is not going to happen. Will not happen. You trade for him, he wants to be here for 5 minutes before he bails out of town. Come on. So you're just giving somebody away? You keep them both. Be happy with them both. I'm not going to decide Tony Cobb because I don't have to decide. Miles got a longer-term deal, but I love Domas Sabonis. I think, I'm the only one around here with any sense. I'm the only one that's ever embraced them both instead of just being some jackwad that wants to get rid of the other one. I got to get rid of Miles. Miles too soft. Wah. I'm the only one around here. I'm the Pied Piper of trying to make sense for some folks out there. Embrace them both is what I've said since November. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline right now. Fox Sports Indiana pre-halftime, post-game show, walk-off interview with 33 last night in a huge win over the Lakers and a laugher. The Lakers are in disarray. We're approaching the trade deadline. I don't even know where to begin with Jeremiah Johnson. I guess last night's performance. And by the way, let's give credit where credit is due. Turner's block and the crowd was outstanding in that game last night.
Yeah, you've got to give those guys a lot of credit for being creative. And I had a conversation with Pat Boylan on our podcast today. He noted as well, clean, funny, but entertaining as well. You know, you want to be able to – we don't need the nuts and bolts chance anymore, but we had something that, was family-friendly, but it also got the attention of everyone. And it's had some legs today as well. I mean, people are certainly talking about them. So I may even have to feature them on Thursday's broadcast.
You don't like nuts and bolts? I love nuts and bolts. Nuts and bolts! Nuts and bolts! We got screwed! That's awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite.
The first one that came to mind that I didn't always think was, best for the younger generation.
Did they do this in Peru back in the day? Did your pep group on a foul and the other team get up and point and go, you? That was awesome.
A little bit, yeah.
I love the you chant, too.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly in my day between interning in Fort Wayne and working in Terre Haute and in Indianapolis, obviously, I've seen some pretty good student sections. But maybe what's happened is some of these student sections have graduated to Turner's Block and the fan zones, and they've had to practice, and now they're performing at a high level.
Well, I mean, listen, think about how that's evolved to different levels over the years, from the Kamen crazies and, getting the cheat sheet of knowing everything about the opponent to, now what they do at Arizona State behind the whole curtain thing during free throws. I mean, we've seen over the past 25 years a great deal of evolution between home court advantages here that's now obviously escalated to the NBA in some forms.
Yeah, and I think the important thing is the way I started this is you want it to be clean and good fun, but it's okay if it gets the attention and maybe tries to rattle an opponent a little bit. And I think the John Wall hates you was pretty good earlier this season, and they definitely got the attention. I have not seen anyone today say anything bad about the Pacers fans. And the other thing that I think is important to note, you had your typical Lakers fans at that game, but it was a very pro-Pacers crowd. And granted, the Lakers fans didn't really have anything to cheer about, but Darren noted, Thaddeus noted, a number of people I talked to were very impressed by the job that the entire, Pacer fan base did in supporting their team, and it was a great atmosphere. It was a lot of fun to be a part of, and you just hope there are many more like that moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, it is, too. And I think you saw last night, JJ, he had 19 threes, and it's not logical to believe they're going to do that. But I think what sold me last night was how important that three ball is and how much better they could be doing by utilizing it and certainly by hitting it. And we saw that last night. I think that's the difference between them being really good and then struggling, to beat certain teams that wouldn't be described as that good. You understand where I'm going?
Absolutely. And, in that first stretch when Victor Oladipo was injured, some would say that they had a better ball movement, better team flow in that stretch because they knew they needed to. And I think they just had to get over in the last week or so the reality that they weren't going to have Victor. And they needed a game like last night where, to be honest, everybody's heard, okay, there's going to be an extra shot here. I need to do more. When you think that, you think I need to do more, and that's attack the basket, or I need to get a quick shot up. Sometimes doing more is making that extra pass. And how many times last night did we see wide open corner threes, or maybe an offensive rebound that led to a wide open opportunity? And these guys, NBA players, when they're wide open from three, they're going to knock it down with regularity. Now, you're not going to be perfect, and you're going to have nights where you don't have it going from outside the three-point arc. But the key is if you get good looks, not the kind that are end-of-shot clock desperation threes, you're going to make a fair share. And I think last night's game was so big because it's everything that Bill Bano preaches about assists and Nate McMillan about playing the right way. It came to fruition. So if they can just kind of take a little bit from what happened last night and continue to work on that, and there are going to be stretches of the game where, guys lower their head and they attack the basket. It's just kind of human nature. But if most of the time you're making the extra pass, good things can still happen with this team.
JJ obviously brings you Fox Sports Indiana coverage pre-halftime post-game show, and last night was Chris Denari's 1,000th call as play-by-play man for Fox Sports Indiana, the Pacers, which was pretty awesome. Get back to that at the tail end of this, too. Do you have your ear, pinned up to Kevin Pritchard's door right now down at the field house trying to listen to what's going on? Is there a light on in there? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm not there, and for good reason, because I don't want to have to be asked something that I might be able to relay. I don't know anything, and, this is one of those times where I'm actually kind of looking forward to tomorrow, just following what happens around the league. And if I had any inside information, I probably wouldn't share it, but they don't tell me these kind of things.
And obviously, I'm joking, and even if anybody's listening, they know that I'm joking. So I may run down there and put my ear up against the door here pretty soon, but I'm just kind of curious. Listen, I will say this, and you don't even have to comment on it if you don't want to, but I think that there is more I'm not going to say likely. That's not. I think there's more of a chance they do something prior to tomorrow now than there might have been, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It still doesn't mean they're going to do anything, and I still think that they probably will end up signing somebody. I'll give you a great example. I've been preaching Wayne Ellington as, not one of these, absolute guys that's going to put you at a different level, but a guy that could help three-point shooting, as we talked about, a guy that can be rotational coming off the bench. It could help you. He's going to the Suns in a deal, and Shams, whatever his name is right now, is reporting that Wayne Ellington likely is going to be waived, and he'll enter the free agent market. So we'll see, but that's the type of name guy that I was thinking the Pacers might have interest in, and not some of these bigger names we see floated around.
I would agree, and I think we had this conversation last week, and, the one thing is, if everybody is back and everybody is healthy except for Victor Oladipo, then you think, can you do anything to not place, but kind of equal some of the things, at least from an offensive perspective, that Victor Oladipo, what you're missing without him. And so there are going to be some of those guys out there. I mean, you just look at Philadelphia last year, what they were able to accomplish. They're not a home court advantage team in the first round, and the Pacers probably don't have to play LeBron James if they don't get Ilyasova and Bellinelli in what you're saying, some of these late signings. And so I think there could be an opportunity, and I think it's a team that, until last night, I was worried so much about their offense down the stretch. They beat Miami despite scoring only 11 points in the fourth quarter. And against the Pelicans, Darren made some big shots, but some of those were end of shot clock, and I'm not sure it was the greatest of execution. So even in those two wins, I was thinking this team's missing a little bit of shot-making ability, a little bit of offensive firepower, and if they can add a piece like that, it would help them at this point. And if it's someone that's under contract next year as well and you want that person, then now's the time. I definitely think the phones are busy. I think that not much sleep may be happening in the St. Vincent Center. I still don't know if that means anything happens, but they will be listening, and if there's an opportunity to help the team now and maybe even into the future, I think they maybe would do it.
I would tell you this. There's a little bit of logic behind my thought with this move or a potential move like that. I'm not just yanking it out my rear end here or anything. I'm just thinking, and we saw it last night, 3-point makes and how important it is, and certainly where it could take you if you shoot a higher volume and you have a higher make volume in it, and that can turn you into a better team and, how should I put it, further help disguise the loss that you're trying to withstand with Victor Oladipo being out for the season. Again, it's not going to take you to a different level, but it certainly would be a no-nonsense signing in this case that would help in a situation you would think that you have struggled in, especially off the bench. So it's just my thought.
Yeah, and here's the thing you think about. In February, very short sample size, but the Pacers have gotten back to the kind of defense that they were doing so well at in December. And so if you have an elite-level defense and an average offense, you have a chance to get into the playoffs and win a series. I mean, let's be honest. That's what they need kind of right now. To me, is just a little bit more firepower if their defense is as good as it has been the last few games, and it's picked up after dropping off a little bit in January. So if you have a top-5 defense and you can improve the offense a little bit, I do think it can improve you to a level where you can get serious about maybe playing basketball in May. And I think a week ago, people had already kind of given up on that. And I think last night's game is an indication, hey, don't give up on these guys yet. People gave up on them last year when the season started, and midway through they thought, this is fake. And, they ended up winning 48 games. And so I just think this is not a team that you want to count out. And if they can get a piece that keeps the chemistry good, that gives them a little more offense, it'd be certainly something I'd consider.
JJ's got you tomorrow night, along with Chris and Quinn. Maybe get another smothered chicken from Quinn, too, with the Clippers.
Yeah, he doesn't. I'm not sure he likes all the pressure of everybody getting on him for the lack of smothered chicken.
Well, Miles, I loved it. Miles thought he owed him one, too, last night in that walk-off, didn't he?
Oh, definitely. And I think the first thing Quinn said was, I don't know about him owing anybody anything, but I guess if he says that, and it's hard to earn a smothered chicken from Quinn. There have been a number throughout the last couple of years. Like, no smothered chicken? And I think you only get usually 2 or 3 a year, and I think we maybe have already had 3 this year. So that's proof of Miles' shot-blocking ability right there to me.
No doubt. JJ's got you covered tomorrow night. The Clippers in town for that matchup against the Pacers, and that's always a pleasure, my friend. And congratulate Chris when you see him tomorrow on number 1,000. That was pretty cool, pretty special last night for him.
Yeah, and what a memorable 1,000 to hand a 42-point loss to LeBron James. In the last 2 games, LeBron's played at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Remember back Game 6 of the playoffs last year? I think he was sitting at that same spot at the end of the bench for most of that game as well. So maybe the tide's turning with Pacers against LeBron.
Hey, you know what else happened last night? I think Boyle on Twitter or on the broadcast complained about the officiating, so I think now he has to block himself.
I didn't hear that. Yeah,
he complained. And this is one of my wheelhouse complaints. One of my wheelhouse complaints is the foul call and Haywood Workman waited to see if the shot was made and then blew the whistle. I think it was in the first quarter last night. And Boyle complained about it. So I think essentially now Boyle must block himself to keep any honor in this. He's got to block himself.
Yeah, I'm going to stay out of this one, but duly noted.
Thank you, JJ. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll see you.
Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. Yeah, you can't complain about the officiating. I'm not going to have it. I'm going to block you. Well, I got to block me now. Hold on. Now I got to block me. That's something we have always complained about. I hate that. I think it was Workman that did that last night, too. Waited to see if it went in and then blew the whistle. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll finalize things for you. Instant replay. Busy trackside with Kevin and Kevin. In-studio guests, Jay Fry and others, I think. Is he in studio or on the phones? Maybe just on the phones.
Not sure. Didn't see.
Maybe just on the phones. So, a lot of stuff going on regarding IMS and racing. Those guys got you covered at 7 o'clock tonight. Give you a little sneak peek on what we're doing tomorrow and your chance to win coming up. Final time next.
Kick off the month of May at Rev, presented by Fifth Third Bank as it returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Saturday, May 4th. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone at revindy.org.
Come to Shane Company for a Valentine's Day gift she'll wear all the time. Hi, I'm Tom Shane.
And I'm Liz. When customers ask me for gift ideas, I tell them to start with her favorite color. Or if you don't know, you can't go wrong with red or pink. Our design team has created necklaces, earrings, bracelets, and rings with colorful gemstones, pearls, sapphires, and rubies.
Our drop pendants have a row of large gemstones in either purple amethyst, red garnet, or London blue topaz, starting at $125. Another affordable gift is our pendant with a cultured freshwater pearl, a white sapphire, and a red garnet for $150.
The white sapphire gives it sparkle, and the garnet's rich color adds a touch of romance.
Whether you spend a few $100s or thousands, at Shane Company you'll easily find unique, stylish, and beautifully crafted Valentine's Day gifts. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
The debate about sports specialization by high school athletes continues. Some argue that high school athletes who play one sport all year long have a better chance of landing a lucrative pro contract. But that's simply not true. In fact, 30 of the 32 first-round picks in last year's NFL draft played more than one sport in high school. Of the 32 players drafted, 22 also participated in high school track and field. 19 also played basketball. Some also played baseball and lacrosse. What's the path to success for high school athletes here in Indiana, no matter what their goals might be? Study hard, always do your best, and if you can, play more than one sport in high school. This message presented by the Indiana High School Athletic Association and the Indiana Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Did the words bezel and pave leave you feeling confused? We get it. Not everyone speaks diamond, but at Helzberg, we do. Our diamond experts can help you customize an engagement ring that's just right. And we'll explain all the fancy words along the way. No pressure and no judgment. Helzberg Diamonds, a Berkshire Hathaway company.
Valentine's Day is Thursday, February 14th. Make it the best one ever and pop the question with the perfect ring from Helzberg Diamonds.
It's Andy Moore, Toyota. It's an Avon. It's 5 miles west of 465. US 36, Jeremy Wilson. Remember that name because he is going to lead you to car, truck, or van savings. Savings like you've never seen. Quality like you've never seen. People that work with you like you've never seen. That's why it's one-stop shopping. In fact, first things first, log on to AndyMooreToyota.com. Check out what you want, and then head out to Avon and let Jeremy, or the two Chris's, or Andrew, or Dina, or Moose put you in that ride of your choice. What you want. They're working for you. They have great deals going on to start this new year right now at Indiana's Best. And remember to tell them I sent you, Andy Moore Toyota. It's an Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. It's no secret that salaries have not kept up with the cost of living. You probably had to use the credit cards more than you thought last year. Now the statements are coming in the mail and the minimums are more than a car payment. Your home has gained equity at the fastest pace in over a decade. Put that new equity to work for you and pay off all your credit cards with a cash-out refinance today. The 5-minute loan approval only available at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, business owners. Does your Wi-Fi ever slow down because of your customers? Do downloads lag when they stream videos? Ever tried to finish payroll while clients hog up your bandwidth? Then make the switch to Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast when you add Wi-Fi Pro, which lets you allocate how much bandwidth you give to customers and your business. So while customers are busy streaming, emailing, and chatting, your employees can still be productive. Wi-Fi Pro on the nation's largest gig speed network. A great experience for your customers and your business. Switch to Comcast Business now for an amazing deal. Get 75 megabit internet for just $49.95 a month when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Wi-Fi Pro available for an additional charge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 2/28/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Subject to change.
John, for Connecticut, best waters out there. It is Connecticut Water with great deals. 2 locations right now. Joe, John, and Dennis are ready to get you hopping with that great water. And I mean noticeably great water compared to that water you have right now, especially if it is hard. Cider that turns hard, good. Water that's hard, not good. Make sure you have the best. That's Connecticut. Premier Series water softener or the in-home drinking water station. No more water bottles. You just need one. And it's a game changer with Connecticut. 2 locations, northeast side, Castleton, US 31, Southport Road on the south side. My guys are online right now at your convenience whenever you want the best water. ConnecticutIndy.com today.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Get a $70 reward card on the purchase of 4 Michelin tires, plus up to $120 in additional rebates. See store for details.
Hamilton Southeastern travels to Carmel on High School Hoops. Friday night at 7:30 on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. The Ride with JMV. FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Handing out birthday wishes today. We did it to the late, great Bob Marley earlier. Axl Rose, R.D., and the great Rick Astley. Happy birthday. You've just been Rick-rolled. Is that still a thing, Rick-rolling? We're Rick-rolling everybody out there. All 5 of you still listening. Hey, Tony, if you could, you'd make my day if you could get Rick Astley on this show. Is there anybody out there that does not like this song? Let you down. Think you could get Rick Astley on the show?
Maybe.
What's your favorite Rick Astley song on his birthday?
That other one.
This one? Oh, let's Cry for Help. I don't like that one. Together Forever.
Yeah. Together forever and ever.
Rick Astley's got some good tunage right there. What a good show. Got a great voice. Send him a tweet and see if he'll come on the show.
I think I tried before. I think I emailed his website.
You got nothing? Hey, by the way, speaking of being on the show, got this weekend, Friday and Saturday, William Shatner is over at the old National Center at the Mirage on Friday night. Tony, is that right? Friday night
yeah.
For Shatner?
Yeah, okay. Yep.
And actor John Cusack is there on Saturday. They've both been on the show. Oh, man. Jeremy, we're not doing anything goes right now, but Jeremy would like me to read my PJ's commercial with 88 JMV. I think that's beautiful. Hey, Tony, what's the latest on the whole gambling thing right now? Where are we?
We'll
Does
see
it
what
go to a
happens over the
tight
next
butt
24
vote?
hours. Yeah, it's got to go.
It's going to a tight-butted politician vote here?
Something like that, yeah.
Hey, any of you politicians out there not going to vote for it? Am I going to have to just rip you up and down for days? Tony, great job out of you today. Quick Slant, Kevin Bowen, Jeremiah Johnson, podcast, 1070thefan.com. Incredible knowledge. Pacers back tomorrow night, so Anything Goes returns tomorrow night, too. And we will see what happens with the trade deadline looming tomorrow, too. Instant replays next. Trackside Kevin and Kevin at 7 o'clock. FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan. Have a great night. Turn it up.
Hey, Dan Dockich here with great news. We're super excited to have Window Nation as a new sponsor for our show, and they have allowed me to offer an exclusive deal for my listeners. Free windows. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. There is no limit. Buy 4, get 4 free, plus 0% financing for 5 full years. Plus, this week only, they will pay your heating bill until your new windows are installed. What a great way to kick off our new relationship. I've personally met the Window Nation team recently, and these guys are true window experts. They have installed over 500,000 windows and have been in more than 80,000 homes, and I can't wait to upgrade to new energy-efficient windows in my home. Window Nation is bringing their superior service and products to my listeners. So if you felt this recent cold blast coming through your windows and doors, you need to call today. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION. Tell them Dan Dockich sent you.
At IUPUI, creating tradition is a team sport. It takes players who compete with ferocious determination. It takes fans who go above and beyond. It takes you. We need you to rise up and support us, to energize us and intimidate our opponents.
To roar with all your might.
See the Jags roar on Saturday as they take on Horizon League rival UIC at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Tip-off at 1 o'clock. Tickets and information at IUPUIJags.com. Together we'll launch a new era of victory at IUPUI. Find out how to roar with the Jags at IUPUIJags.com.
Wow, look at these roses. They're gorgeous.
Happy Valentine's Day, honey.
Oh, thank you. Guys, this Valentine's Day, you can order like a pro with gorgeous roses from Pro Flowers. She'll be thrilled when you surprise her with roses. And right now, you can get her a stunning bouquet of 1 dozen assorted roses with a free glass vase for $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Just go to proflowers.com, click the blue microphone, and enter secret code 7272. These gorgeous roses are guaranteed to stay fresh and beautiful for at least 7 days. Plus, pick a delivery date and it's guaranteed. Time is running out, so hurry to get 1 dozen assorted roses with a free glass vase starting at $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Beautiful flowers, amazing prices. You'll be a Valentine's Day pro. The only way to get this incredible deal is to go to proflowers.com, click the blue microphone in the upper right corner, and enter secret code 7272. That's proflowers.com, code 7272.
Hey, John, for 1 hour heating and air conditioning, 855, 1 hour. Get you covered this wintertime, especially since we've gone in and out of the deep freeze. Now, for a couple of times after today, we're going back in, and you want to make sure that your heating unit is running the way that it should. Get you covered both when it comes to heating your home, but also not outrageous heating bills that you're going to get if your system's not working right or efficiently. So the experts come in of 1 hour heating and air conditioning, make sure everything's running smoothly, and if they need to make a repair, they will, and they'll slash $51 off of their repair visit. That's 1 hour heating and air conditioning. The experts at 1 hour, 855 1 hour today.
Tesla, the multi-platinum rock and roll band, is back with the Shock USA Tour. 1 night only, the Murat Theater at Old National Center. This Saturday night. Tickets on sale now at the Old National Center box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. Tesla Shock USA Tour, part of the Cricket Concert Series.
You've worked hard. You're passionate, curious, and dedicated, and you're ready for more. At the University of Indianapolis, we're here to help you move forward to advance the career of your dreams. With over 40 graduate programs offered in flexible, traditional, and online formats, you can break through and become more. Are you ready to move forward? You can do it, and the University of Indianapolis can help. Visit request.uindy.edu/graduate to learn more.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BB, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Pacers host the Los Angeles Clippers tomorrow evening at 6:30 on FM 107.5 at 1070 The Fan. We know you're busy. Bills to pay, mouths to feed, and the man needs another favor. So just in case you missed what happened on The Fan today, we've got your back. And even if you did hear it live, you probably need to hear it again. Here you go. All in one place and in just 1 hour. The best of the best from today on FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan. This is Instant Replay. This afternoon on The Ride with JMV.
He waited for Bart's phone call. He writes articles and does talk shows and is getting married and will not tell us where he's going to hold his reception. But by God, I'll find out, and I'm going to send people there anyway, just out of spite. Kevin Bowen joins us. You know I'll find out where that is. If you don't tell me, I'm finding out. I'll find out.
Yeah, I'm going to need Laney to have a basketball tournament or something, something that day.
Yes, you will. Absolutely. Hey, before I get to Bart had to comment. This is a huge day. A year ago today was certainly huge in forming what we know this Colts team to be right now, with the bad that turned into